what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flesh and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan. Is Vic there? With me are my two disposables, exposition and comic relief. Brian, your exposition, and, well, there we go. That's Dr. Sinister, for those of you who don't know. We're not sure about Eddie. Haven't been for many, many months now. No, we don't know if he's turning up or not. He's having internet problems.
No, I've told you he's trapped in the time vortex.
Oh, right.
Have you been illegally experimenting with time travel again?
Who are you referring that to?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's valid.
You know, like, you've got Ramatut, Kang the Conqueror, Immortus.
Yes.
Well, one of us is Kang, one of us is Immortus. I'll let you work out which one's which.
I feel deeply sad for the timeline.
It's sacred.
It's not so much a timeline as more of a time scribble now.
You know, like that drawing in Fear Her that comes towards... That's
it's actually supposed to be Ysidril, the world tree.
I don't think it was in Fear Her. I just think it was scribble. I'm just saying. I have no idea.
I'm just saying, during one of Marvel's many side projects. Many. Ysidril, the world tree of the Asgardians, is actually a map of time and space.
That would make sense. However, it only does have these, what's it, the 10 realms?
9 realms.
It is only the 9 realms, yeah. So if that's a map of time and space, it's missing a little bit.
I'm just going to nod like I could know what you're talking about.
Marvel Comics, love.
I know Marvel Comics. I know that much, but beyond that.
Stavros has turned up in chat. Hello, peeps.
Hello.
That's Retta, in case anybody's wondering. Now then, what was I going to say? News. Character Options through B&M are releasing 4 new sets of toys. Because they're toys. They are toys. They're dollies. There's first Doctor Who with 2 different alien Vord. And an Ian Chesterton with 2 different Sensorites.
Other way round.
Oh, he's with the Vord and the Doctors of the Sensorites, is he?
Correct.
Yes.
Righty-ho.
Fair enough, whatever. But the very fact that in 2021 we're getting figures of Sensorites and Vords is bizarre. There's also 2 Dalek sets, and I have a major problem there, because one of them has a beautiful Planet of the Dalek. And I may have to buy a few of those, which is going to break me. So
we have an Eddie update.
Oh, yes, please. And the Eddie update is?
He's trying to join.
Yay!
Well, there's a thing. Chat, if you'd like to place your bets on how long, if at all, Eddie takes to join us, please feel free.
I've been down this path before, no bet.
I bet he's been punting on the cam and he's stuck with his pole in the mud, and when he turns up, he'll be actually underneath a gate.
Do you know, I'd like to see that. If only he'd heard you say that and I had arranged it so he was. 5 minutes.
He's been stuck with his jewel thief girlfriend trying to steal a mask through a laser netted room.
Yes.
Again, bizarre mental images.
Disguised as a penguin.
T-shirt news, more people. Sorry.
Is he really a penguin in human disguise?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows chocolate bars only change shape if you stick them in a cup of coffee. Oh, no. Sorry, thinking of a lemming. Yes. T-shirt news. More people are buying them. Hopefully to wear at Hooverville. Spread the word.
Us in the States, much anywhere.
Yeah, basically. Any convention will do. Because, trust me, this will be a crowd turner. Because it's a funny phrase from Doctor Who that hasn't been aired for quite some time. So it deserves its comeback, I think. Don't you?
And only really true geeks will get it.
True Doctor Who geeks.
In America.
Still, it's Doctor Who geeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is very niche. Incredibly niche.
Oh, it's
pathetically so.
Oh, it's Terry Nation's birthday.
Neri Nahan, yeah. Didn't we just mention that?
91.
Oh, hang on. That was before we
not on the show.
Yes, yeah. Neri Nahan. I'm sorry, I picked that up off Sinister. Neri Nahan is yeah.
It's Neri Nahon and it's Gnid Blyton.
Okay.
Shut up. Okay. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm fine.
Just because you've read chat and he hasn't.
Uh-oh. What?
Retta asks, are you famous?
Like
Who?
Siobhan.
Oh.
Do you know famous people and this, that, and the other?
Who, you?
No, you.
Me? Do I know famous people?
Apparently.
I shared a urinal with Sylvester McCoy in 1989.
I walked out of the back when I was male. I walked out of the ladies because I'd forgotten to wear my glasses and didn't see the sign properly. Straight into Nick Courtney, who's just going into the gents. But Retta, I am not famous. How I cannot explain this enough to you. I am not famous. All right.
You are aware that over in America we have celebrities that are famous simply for being famous.
Yes, we have them over here, but however, I've got a brain.
Yes, but we can market that.
My brain?
The thinking person's famous celebrity.
We can market that in slices.
Mm-hmm. Much like,
No, diced, surely.
Just take very thin slivers.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be fine. You'll barely feel a thing. Actually, you won't feel a thing. That's neat about
what?
The brain.
I don't understand.
The brain has
Where's the T?
Got no nerve endings, so it doesn't feel anything. Sorry, are you referring to the chat again? I'm not looking at the chat.
No, it's just basic requirements of a robot brain as a replacement. What? I don't understand, and where's the T?
We can put a robot brain in there.
Arthur Dent. What does Zaphod said to Arthur Dent?
You'll have to pay for it, though. We're not charity.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
What about clockwork?
And you'll move really slow because...
Oh, well, hang on a second. You see, this is why we need Eddie. He was going on about the bionic brain.
Yeah, but you'll be more like the £6.50 woman.
You'll be more like Spock when they took out his brain and just...
The Poundland woman, I think, would be a better... Okay.
Spock's brain. Don't talk about Spock's brain.
I'm talking about Spock's brain. I'm thinking we put the remote control in there and we got ourselves a hit.
Just the things we could make you do.
Retta, if you were a robot and you didn't know it, but we knew it, would you want us to tell you?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's an interesting question. I watched the episode of TNG last night where Data meets his mother, only she's not really his mother and she's not even a person.
How dare you? She's a person.
She's not flesh and blood.
You'd want us to tell you. Well, we're not going to tell you either way, Retta. You might be, you might not be. There are plenty of ways of telling. For example, get yourself a nice ham slicer, or you're American, so you've probably got a big log wheelie cutting blade thing. Stick your arm in front of that. When the hand comes off, if lots of red liquid comes out, you are not a robot. You are not a robot.
Well,
Have you ever allowed another human to be injured through action or inaction of your own?
Do you honestly think, knowing her, that she's been programmed with those 3 rules? You know her.
I'm just saying.
I had a thing on my phone.
And I said person, not kitten.
Oh. Right. We need to kill time to give Eddie a bit more time to get here.
Oh no, not us. We can't do that.
Is he joining by letter?
Yes. But we have to wait until the end of the show. I will move to a leather wing-backed armchair and wear a quilted dressing gown and say, and finally, Esther, we received this missive from a Mr. E. McKenna of Scottish Scotland. And it'll be a picture of a rude vegetable.
What, like an eggplant?
It looks like a thingy.
Zucchini?
Eggplants are called aubergines.
Eggplant.
I swear they do it deliberately. That's the whole reason for the American Revolution, is to fuck us up over our own language.
Oh, we have a question from the gallery.
It's not at the moment. I need submissions, please. So I've got something to put up there.
You need submissions for your OnlyFans page?
Yes.
Is this an AMA episode?
What, and ask me anything? I'm not sure the witch should be.
When we need him.
If you want to do an AMA with me until Eddie gets here, okay. Unless you're talking about an AMA with one of you two, in which case, yeah, I'm up for that.
Well, all 3 of us.
AMA the Flashing Blade.
Have you?
Bleep.
We may not need to.
I've been saved! I've been saved!
Yes, you don't have to answer questions anymore.
I don't know how long this will last, but we'll give it a go.
It's working very well so far.
It's nice.
What are you doing? You're tethered to your... You're tethered to a hotspot?
Tethered to my phone. I've got 5 gigabytes of data left. It took me ages to get the bloody thing to tether, and then Discord didn't seem to like it and wouldn't open. But this all started yesterday, right? Now, anybody on this panel have a death ray on them? Just saying.
Well, not a death ray. I've got collection.
Oh, right. Because
you get access to the Jewish space laser, don't you? Don't you hire time on it?
Yes, we need a time count on this.
I built it for them.
Oh, that's it.
Me and Angela are sitting in the living room with Harvey yesterday. It was nice.
Sorry, Retta, you're out.
Nice and calm. It was a nice day. All of a sudden, it starts to rain, a la Flash Gordon. All it was missing was the thunderbolts and the
red skies.
That's it. Yep. And then all of a sudden, it was one almighty bang crack of thunder with lightning, and then my broadband cut out, and it's never worked since. So I've never experienced thunder and lightning like it. It was more like an explosion.
Yes, enough of that. But what's more important? Why aren't you wearing the t-shirt, Eddie?
I'm saving it for September.
Brilliant.
All right.
Detected the
non-conformity. That's something else we've got to come to.
I'm wearing my Carrie t-shirt. I do a Carrie t-shirt.
I know, but we all wear these now, and it's, fair enough.
Carry on.
The other... All right, then. The other thing we've got to do tonight is something Sinister came up with at the Genesis of the Daleks reaction video we did on Friday night. Those of you who might be familiar with the Next Generation episode Darmok, where basically Picard has to learn to speak in metaphors and understand metaphors. I'm guessing they're metaphors. They're very short metaphors, but they're metaphors nonetheless. Darmok and Tanagra.
Yeah, when the walls fell.
Yeah, exactly. That sort of thing.
Yeah, that better.
Missing something.
Yeah, it's missing something.
So you've got to face that way for the whole episode now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. We're not gonna see his face. That's not bad.
Now all we see is his neck.
I'm starting to get confused.
I might have made an error with the T-shirt.
Seriously, have you not got that back to front?
No, I've got the logo on the back, but I bought another one. I've got another one with the logo on the front. I corrected it. I'm really unworthy of the diamond logo.
How can you be unworthy of being unworthy of the diamond logo? For fuck's sake!
Now it starts to get very complicated. I think we just need to draw a line.
I think we went full meta on that.
You committed, mate. You absolutely committed, and I salute you.
I'll bring this one with me. So I've got one with the logo at the back, and I've got one with the logo at the front.
You are the trailblazer.
We're the one with the logo on the front, because as I was just saying, more people are buying them now, so you don't want to stand out on the side as the one person who bought the wrong T-shirts.
When we go on patrol,
you got two like that.
No. I've got one with the logo at the front. I
was gonna say. Oh, and yeah, Retta's winding me up in chat yet again. Eddie, do you know any famous people?
Do I know any famous people?
Yeah.
I know a WWE wrestler who wrestles for WWE UK, yes.
That, according to Retta, means you're famous.
The only famous person I know is Siobhan.
I'm not famous. It's famous by association, you see. It's famous by association. That's how Retta works. You know, I've got a few friends in the Doctor Who fandom who just happen to be professionals. Therefore, I am famous. This is not true.
So by associating with yourself and Sinister, does that make me and Brian podcasters then? Yes.
Yes.
No.
I'll drink to that.
Professional podcasters.
No. Dear God, no.
Yep. Sorry.
So Brian's going to put the... There's no point in Brian putting the link in chat. There's only 2 people in chat. I was going to say for the T-shirt. We've started to make plans for our 24-hour live stream playing of Diablo 2. Not Lemmings. And what actually is that?
Cat
What
toy.
actually is...
One of my cats.
Oh, it's a cat toy. Okay.
Right.
It doesn't look like a cat toy.
You're a prevert.
I'm just saying it doesn't look like a cat toy. I
tricked you.
Cat.
So, okay, yeah, okay. Cat gone. I can concentrate now. Cat's gone.
This is actually better quality running off my phone than it is running off a Virgin bloody media.
You did have an interesting freeze frame, which when you watch this back on YouTube, you'll go, oh shit. But that's only to be expected. Yes, Sinister came up with this thing. Essentially, the language of metaphor, a la Darmok, but using Genesis of the Daleks instead. Now, I just thought we were going to make up funny lines, like, Hugh, his insanity discovered. No. You see, because Sinister decided to go the full hog and do it properly. I thought we were just going to twist dialogue around a little bit. Sinister, knowing what he wanted. You know, that sort of thing. But no. He's changed the dialogue. Forget the dialogue. It's just what happens, and he's given us actual meanings to it. So I'm sitting back here now. Go for it.
So to sum up, what you're saying is Scarrow when the bombs fell.
Yeah, exactly. So so these are the examples I've come up with. Feel free to come up with your own. Eddie, you may not have seen these. I don't know whether you have or not.
No, this is
right. You're my guinea pig then, because I suspect the other 2 have seen. So the first one, Davros and Nida in the Thal Dome. What does that mean? What does it mean?
Come on, you've seen Genesis of the Daleks. What does it mean?
Yes. Yes, so this is the scene with Snyder and... Oh, there was quite a few scenes with Snyder and...
Snyder.
Snyder.
Snyder was a lump of goo in Earthshock.
Snyder was a handyman on One Day at a Time.
So
Snyder's also Glasgow Raymond, Glaswegian. Something Snyder, it's rubbish.
So
Let me
Snyder
repeat.
and Davros.
There's only one scene with Davros and Snyder in the Fendahl Dome. So you have to think, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the bit where they're actually tricking the Tharals into believing that they're on their side and they're acting as traitors?
So give me one word for what Davros and Snyder in the Fendahl Dome could mean.
Manipulative.
Treachery.
Oh, okay. Okay. Got you now.
Okay.
Right.
Is this going as well as you were hoping?
No.
Yeah. The second one.
Okay.
Skaro, when the bombs fell. What does that mean?
The end of the Dalles.
The desolation, destruction.
State of war or hatred, but yeah, basically.
Okay.
Failure.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Sin.
Yeah.
What?
Go on.
What was the badge you were going to get made up about the Dalles? Can you remember what the saying was? Was it just remember the Dalles, or what was it? I have to go back and watch with our reaction now to find out.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway, sorry,
Okay.
carry on, please.
The next one. Garman, his eyes trusting.
And his hair solid.
Garman is. I can think is Garman, his hair solid. Say that again, please.
Garman, his eyes trusting.
What's the word I'm looking for? He's manipulated, but no, it's
Gullible? Gullible?
Gullible.
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 Fool.
Gullible.
He's a
Gullible.
fool. He's a fool.
Right.
Yeah. The time ring with hands linked.
Escape.
Oh yes, very very good. I'll give you that. Departure.
There you go.
The next one. I'm particularly proud of this one. The Doctor and Harry with a nice cup of tea.
Doctor and Harry with a nice cup of tea. Friendship.
So think about what happens when the Doctor asks for a nice cup of tea. What's the response?
Apart from a rifle butt.
They
don't get a nice cup of tea.
It's no tea, Harry.
It means disappointment.
Oh, right, okay. I'm not very good at this. I really am unbothered.
No, neither am I. Don't worry. Neither am I.
Don't worry.
This is sinister. Just go with it.
There's only a few more. Right. The giant clam, its grip unceasing.
Don't be a fucking idiotic naval officer.
Tenacity.
Go on. But what?
There are so many things I could say about this one.
Yeah, keep them clean.
Yeah, that's not easy.
It means being trapped.
Okay, right, that makes sense. Yeah, it's just, I'm useless.
Severin and Sarah lost in the wastelands.
Oh, Muto's nice with a drop of milk in the morning. Sorry.
Muto flakes.
Muto flakes, that's it. Here you go, Sarah. I've got breakfast.
You could say escape again, or they're lost in it. No, I give it.
You said the word lost. Yes, lost and scared.
Lost.
Yeah.
Roderick.
Okay. There's a few more. The trenches, the air foul. So think about what they discovered in the trenches in the first episode of Genesis of the Daleks.
Death.
Shot window dummies, wasn't it?
Death.
Yeah, I've got it down as deception because they propped up the bodies, the dead bodies.
Oh, right, yes.
Okay, two more, and I really like these two. These are my favourite.
Okay.
I'll try and do them justice.
The first one is Ronson at rest.
Ronson at rest. That is... it's not revenge. What's what I'm looking for?
Murder.
He deserves it. He did. Death? Murder?
Murder.
Yes, he gets
Murder.
it.
Death.
It's
The final one.
no. It's murder because he genuinely
Murder.
didn't deserve that death. It is therefore murder.
Well, as I was saying to you the other day, Siobhan, we don't know that he wasn't a Thal spy, so let's go on side. Okay, the final one. Okay. Neither. His queries satisfied.
Interrogation.
Nope. Think about the context where he says,
Thank you.
That's
what I wanted to know.
What's just happened?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the bit, right, where he tricks the guy into confessing that there's a plots against Davros. So, satisfaction? Satisfaction?
No, betrayal.
Oh. Okay.
Can I just say, you've put far too much thought into this.
I had a lot of fun putting thought into this.
This is good.
And
I approve.
definitely not one.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. That was
Anyway,
I can't believe you got it the wrong way round.
I got one, didn't I think?
These
I got
will
one.
be used in the future.
Hang on. 2 seconds, please.
Oh.
Eddie, did you say you already had 2 T-shirts? And only one of them has it on the back?
Yes. Yeah.
So what went wrong between clicking 1 and 2 that somehow you flipped it onto the back of the T-shirts?
I ordered it, right, and I was ordering 2, one for me and one for Sean.
Right,
and then I ordered, when I was doing it, I checked, and it was like one of them has it in the back and one at the front. Like I said, it was like, and I thought I could have cancelled it, and I thought, no, comic effect, I'll keep the one with the one at the back.
That's
and
worked. That's worked.
Yeah.
Good call. Very good call.
Yeah.
That's given me a lot of fun tonight. Yeah.
I'll bring it with
and
me.
if I'm honest with you, I salute you yet again for upholding our high professional standards.
Yes, I aim to be unworthy of the unworthiness.
Like I say, just taking it a step further. Wow.
Cut it out, stick it on the back of the other one, then you'll be double-sided.
That's it. Genius.
Now, we have a quiz coming up. I don't know when to do the quiz. Do you want to do the quiz now, boys, or do you want to do it after the review section?
Let's do it after the review.
After the review, yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I need to get bloody Doomwatch off my chest.
Doomwatch broke my mind this week.
Oh, that's
all right. That's all I'm saying. But we'll get to that. However, for now... And now, from the world of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. A 4th Doctor Who. I don't know. It might be a Thursday. Who can tell? And his plucky girl assistant, Leela. Well, they've broken K9, haven't they? And Professor Marius will not be pleased. We watched Image of the Fendahl. There's a time scanner operating on a fault in time and space. A rift, if you would like. There's another one in Cardiff, but we don't get to that just yet. And at the same time, an ancient, mysterious skull has been found, which is in fact the core of a creature called the Fendahl, which is a gestalt entity made up of 12 Fendaline. I hope we're all...
And the core.
And the core, yes, obviously. And there are scientists working with this time scanner, looking into the rift, not knowing that they're powering this skull. And one of them is named Fendahl Man, because this skull...
I was hoping you were going to point that one out.
Well, that's a deliberate one. It's and it's mentioned in the show that, you know, his whole it's a bit like Fenric, you know. His whole life has been guided to this.
I want to pick up on this point later on.
Okay, all right. So I don't know when Ron's coming now. But I have two problems with this one. Yes, it is beautiful to look at. Yes, there's some cracking dialogue. We love Granny Tyler. We turn around and say, I can't remember who had cakes last week, but we did this week so in the hope that you would have cake. Did you have cake? No, you didn't. And they even gave you a really good recipe for that cake in the program.
No, that's not how you make fruitcake, according to Granny Tyler.
Well, I wouldn't argue with her, quite frankly.
No. Don't argue with someone named Granny.
That's true.
Or Tyler.
Auntie. So, yeah, like I say, it is lovely. It's beautiful, but the structure of it is very bizarre. It takes forever for the Doctor and Leela to actually get involved in the action. It's only right at the end of the first episode. And then, for the third episode, it's just them going on an absolutely pointless time, trip in the TARDIS just to fill out time.
Time lash.
Yes, essentially. It's badly. The structure is bad. What we do get is great, but it's just wrong somehow. There we go. I said my piece.
Was Tom on his holidays? Because him and Leela kind of don't really feature in big sections of this, and it's the scientist.
No, it's just God knows what happened there. Which one of you would like to go first?
I'll go.
I was going to toss a Triganic poo, but I won't. You volunteered.
It saves us from getting poo tossed.
It did not just that. It saves me from doing my back in.
That too. I like this one.
Good. I enjoy it, but
this had a very Hammer horror type feel to it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With science beating out the mysticism, or being the cause of it, however you want to look at it. I love this episode. I did not like Louise's hair in the beginning. It just done up in the bun and everything. It just didn't look.
Did you like her new dress? Did you like her
new dress?
I like
the new dress. I like the new dress.
Do you know the reason for the hair?
Oh, do tell, because that was
hair.
I have been a good boy, and I did a little bit of research.
I'm sorry, no, go no further. I'm booting you off the show. This is far too good for us.
Allegedly, a BBC hairstylist accidentally cut her hair too short, so she had to put it up. But by the time they'd finished filming, it was just about long enough to have it down again right at the end. Allegedly,
that would make sense.
That makes sense.
Oh, you've just reminded me. Hooverville guest. New Hooverville guest announced today, Sophie Aldred.
Oh, nice!
So, yeah. However, she's a sponsored guest, which means she will be charging for autographs.
That's fine. My son's met her, so that's that one less thing he can cast over me.
I met her in 1988.
Can you get her to sign one of the Unworthy shirts?
I was actually looking possibly at getting.
I've got space. I've got an Unworthy shirt. There's plenty of space at the front for signing.
Shirt. That would be the perfect shirt. We have Unworthy on one side, and we try to get everyone's signature on the front.
Right, I'm going to get one of them fabric pens. This shirt's going to get signed.
Hang on 2 seconds. Couple of things to think about with this. One, I was going to suggest buying Sophie an Unworthy shirt.
Oh, definitely.
Possibly. The other thing is, however, depending how many people you can get on that, and you're going to need the bigger names like Rob Sherman, Colin Baker, Sophie, etc. If you're willing, we could auction it off on the 24-hour live stream.
Yes. Yes, that would be amazing. That's a good idea.
Signed off. Logo at the back, excellent. That's what I was aiming for when I actually ordered this one. That's what I had in mind when I ordered
I thought
the
that was the case. To be honest with you,
stains on the front.
I was just going to say, please wash it before taking it to Derby.
So Eddie's going to want 2 of them now.
Yeah, you're going to need to order another couple.
One for him, one for the auction.
Well, no, that's the auction T-shirt there.
I'll wash this. This will go in the washing tonight, and it will not be worn again. This is the one and only time I'll wear this. Great.
I don't know anything about pens and what pens work or anything, so I'll leave that entirely down to you.
Oh no, we've done that because Sean, when Sean and me, guilty pleasure, we like wrestling, so we get T-shirts and Sean had a fabric pen and got them signed
together.
And then,
really, that's a bit creepy in the family, isn't it?
Oh, having a common interest, I know. But
no, actually wrestling. Sorry, I thought you meant actually wrestling. Okay, right, good.
Oh, Sean can do it. Sean has been trained to wrestle.
Can't bloody shoot straight though, can he? Anyway,
no, that's very true.
What was that piece of news? Oh, yes. Sad piece of news from Britain in that, basically. Is Sean in chat, by the way? Do we know? I don't think he is,
He's probably not expecting me to be on.
I will sign your T-shirt when and if I get up there. I will sign it.
But what was it? This poor woman had been gunned down. She was just caught in the middle of this feud between tyre suppliers.
Yeah.
Guy had driven along and totally missed his target and just shot this poor innocent woman and killed her. Where was Sean on that day?
I'm still trying. I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on chat, but he will watch this back because he does watch it back. Sean, we need a word.
Okay. Right. There's more here. Retta's now asking, can we get an Unworthy T-shirt that's signed by all of us? She wants one that's signed by all of us.
Sure, we could.
Which means it's going to have to it's going to do the rounds a little bit. Up to Scotland, down to Brighton for Alistair.
No. You 3 just sign it at Hooverville.
Then post it.
Well, we may not have Dominic and Alistair.
No, Dominic said he'd come.
He was talking about it. He's a maybe.
No, apparently this is to suction it off.
Oh, to auction off.
Who the hell do you think's going to buy that, Retta?
Retta, nobody cares about us.
Seriously, no. I mean, if you want one just for yourself, we'll do it for a laugh. But to auction, people, you could probably you could probably hand it into Goodwill, and you know, it's we really are crap.
We live
I think she's winding me up. I seriously think she's winding me up. I do. But, we'll see. What were we talking about, Doctor Who?
We were talking about Louise Jameson's hair.
Yes, in Doctor Who.
Yes, some of the more important parts of this particular show. Did you enjoy the Doctor basically enabling somebody to kill themselves?
Hell yeah.
No, that didn't sit comfortably with me. I always think that in those situations when things like that happen, the Doctor would try and find a way. And the woman who's possessed and becomes the Fendahl as well, it's kind of just left to her own fate.
Yeah, I was kind of upset that she was left as...
She's totally innocent.
In the Doctor's defence, and he does say this in the story, I think he was emotionally affected because this is a creature from his own mythology and childhood.
Possible, fair point. Secondly, he had made it very clear how impossible it was to do practically anything.
And that you have to think as well, the Fendahl needed 13 entities in total to become complete, and in this example, the greater good really.
Yep. Unfortunately, it managed to store up enough energy.
And to be fair, the one
actually
who
just
did kill himself, he was kind of like the arch bad guy up until the monster showed up.
But again, it was this Fendelman, so he was kind of like...
Maximilian Stahl.
No, Fendelman had already died by that point.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
How Glaswegian is that? Oh, Fendelman had already died by that point. Oh, that's fine then.
That's fine then.
Max was he was the satanic cult leader.
Yes, yeah.
I'm sorry, the 70s satanic cult leader.
Thank you very much. Yep, that's good.
Very different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who got the damsel in distress in trouble to begin with and kidnapped her and just used her as a host for the Fendahl. It's, yeah. Here, have a gun.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Cat's
ass.
Might I suggest, if we get the T-shirt signed at Hooverville, offering it up as a raffle prize? Because it'll be the T-shirt of the convention, so to speak. It'll be a nice memento for somebody. I mean, we can do that, or we can auction, sort of say, look, we want to auction this off for, you know, for your charity.
2.
2 what?
1 for raffle, 1 for auction.
I don't know if they're doing an auction. I can ask Steve.
Yeah, I'm actually going to say, if Steve's comfortable with this, it would be really nice. And all proceeds are going to Scottish Autism. So
exactly. So, yeah. Oh, if we do it for... if we do raffle or anything at Hooverville, it won't go to Scottish Autism. It'll go to their charity. So we'll have to do it...
Quick question.
You get it.
Who's the cartoon drawing lady, the animation drawing lady that we...
Sophie Ells.
Is she going to be there?
I don't know.
You could get her to draw something on it.
Possibly, yeah.
I mean, whatever charity, it's the day. Just if Steve's comfortable with that, and that's a nice gesture.
The only other thing you see, the reason I think it might do better for them is I don't think, and this is with all respect to Jess, I don't think we're actually going to raise much money or have many people.
You never know. She has a lot of viewers and a lot of connections.
But I also,
even if we do it mainly on her channel and just host it on this channel,
it's also, for me, it's a way of basically saying thanks to Steve for letting us do this lunacy.
He is okay with us doing this, isn't he? Is he tolerant?
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I've not given him a choice. It's that simple. I'm a fashion icon, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, fashionista, absolutely.
Yeah, damn straight. So who was talking about Image of the Fendahl? Was it you, Eddie, or was it Brian? It was you.
It was Brian.
Had you finished?
No, not quite.
Oh, yeah, really, a bit more. You were talking about... Yeah, you were talking about...
Go ahead, Eddie, it's all you.
Well, I didn't like it. Yeah. I just thought it felt a bit Doctor and Leela light. I thought the comparison with the Hammer horror, absolutely, it did feel kind of more Hammer horror-esque than Doctor Who, and I know this era that was kind of a blend of both, but I didn't like Louise's hair, but now that's been explained to me, that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I like Granny. I think the grandmother in it was actually stole the whole. I
want to see more of the grandmother.
It's the sort of character and actress as well that Tom Baker just adored. He loved people like that, and you can see it with him.
Her whole, one of these days I'll be too old to do this, and I'm just like, no, we need more of her.
Don't you go trusting anyone wearing a hat. I wears a hat. Aye, but I gives it to he.
Just love the accent, and I just that actress is just
pure Mummerset. That is elderly Captain Mummerset. I want you to know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it just felt really. You had the nail on the head, Siobhan. It just felt really padded. It just felt really. It was
something they got wrong there, and this puzzles me because Robert Holmes was still script editor then, and it puzzles me how that happened. You know?
I mean, this is a great era for Doctor Who. a whole the whole dynamic with
Season
Leela
15.
and the Doctor. I take it John Leeson wasn't available, so that's why no K9, or was it just Tom?
I had no.
Again, research time.
Oh, bloody
K9,
hell!
K9 had only just been introduced as a regular companion, and there was no space for him in the story.
I'm sorry, I'm going to deny your research. That ain't research. That's common knowledge.
He didn't know it.
I know.
There's
common. I didn't know it.
There's common, Sinister. Then there's
really common. Yeah. There's common and then there's scum. Yes, I'm scum.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm saying it though.
Oh, there are people who are unworthy of being unworthy of the Diamond logo now.
When
You've invented a substrata.
And you come from one of the rough areas in Glasgow, you can learn. You embrace the whole scumbag.
I'm sorry, the T-shirt thing's just cracking me up. You just invented a whole new substrata of unworthiness. It's genius. Genius.
Well, again, I've succeeded in one level, but in this, I like the Doctor. I like Leela. This one and again, Siobhan, you're absolutely right. It looked lovely. The whole makeup, the skull, the
scarf. It's a gorgeous scarf. I got one of those scarves.
It is a gorgeous scarf.
I don't know. Is it the worst? Absolutely not. But it's not one of the ones. And again, I watched this, and when I watched it, I'm thinking, have I seen this before? And I have. I definitely have. I've watched it in UK Gold. I've probably watched it when they did the reruns on Twitch. But it didn't sit. It wasn't memorable for me, and for that, I'd probably suggest.
I have heard there might be another Twitch marathon.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be good.
I really enjoyed those.
Well, the second one of those wasn't so good because all the Not My Doctors turned up. But that first one was like a party.
Absolutely.
I had it on my big TV using the Xbox, and I'm doing comments from the phone.
Isn't that where the London 1965 thing came from?
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah.
We've made it. London 1965! Exclamation mark. Eddie, what did you make of Doctor Who in the Image of the Fendahl?
Oh, it's not the worst, it's not the best, but again, it's one that I forgot, and I'll probably forget again. I just thought it was slow and padded.
Just realised I'd just completely forgotten you'd already spoken about it.
Yeah.
This is not a judgment on you, it is a judgment on my memory.
That's fine.
Okay.
Bar's going down.
What?
I'm just moving the bar down. Just lowering it a little bit.
My memory's just going out the window. It's going to be great every Sunday. It's going to be a whole... Oh! Just realised, guys, how's your week been? Sinister, how's your week been?
What?
7 days. It's been 7 days.
Have you had a good week since Friday?
I've had a very nice weekend. Yes.
That's good. Brian, how's your week been? Shut up. Eddie, how's your week been?
What is going on?
Garbage.
I forgot to do this at the top of the show.
It's all right, we'll fix it in the edit, right?
Yes.
I forgot to do this at the top of the show.
Every
week I do this. It's the first thing I ask you. How have your weeks been?
Well, this is just a rehearsal.
Oh no, Brian's in the corner rocking.
I need an adult.
Ladies and gentlemen, on a scale of 1 to 100, and I'm using this scale that we'll be using during Blake 7 for this particular season, but for the moment, just how crap have I been just now? I'll listen to you if you got the pipe out. Oh yes, authority. This seat of wise man.
No, I'd still say 70. I think we're in the 70s.
I'm talking about me personally.
No, I'm still thinking the 70s. We've had lower. Mm-hmm. No,
we've been lower, but yeah, mainly because of Brian. But
the 1970s,
80s, wasn't it?
What?
I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. If anybody knows a way of stopping a podcast that's gone out of control, we're hostages here.
The key to time.
You've seen the role-playing game?
Adam today. Me and Adam, we met for lunch up at the Broadfield Shops. And bugger me, if there wasn't the old 1980s Games Workshop Doctor Who board game. I think it was the board game and not the actual...
In the red box?
Yeah.
Wow.
You had loads and loads of counters to put out, didn't you?
It's so ridiculously complicated. It takes you an hour to set it up.
And one good sneeze and you ruined it.
Yeah.
Well, it was £8. Adam bought it.
I've got 2 copies of that, and I don't know why.
2 copies of Risk I can understand. You can play multi-dimensional Risk. It's great fun, and I'm fucking brilliant at it.
Dalek Risk.
Dalek Risk. Oh, we've got to have a game of that at some stage.
There's only one Doctor Who game I want. I want the Doctor Who pinball machine game. It was in a local pub for years.
You can buy them, but they're expensive.
I want one.
It's got a really dodgy picture of Davison on the top.
It's got a very dodgy picture of all of them.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, Sinister, tell us about Image of the Fendahl.
Okay, Image of the Fendahl.
Yes.
So far, 2 of you have pronounced judgment on the Image of the Fendahl.
Oh.
And one of you is wrong.
Okay. You've got to remember to cue me in now.
I'll go with wrong.
No, you're right. Image of the Fendahl is brilliant. It's brilliant. It's really fucking scary.
I wouldn't say that, but it's interesting.
I watched it in 2 chunks. I finished watching it today. I've watched it a number of times. It's not one of my absolute go-tos, but yeah, it's a solid kind of backup if the favourites have kind of recently been through rotation. You're right. There's a big Hammer horror influence here. Did you know? Research time. The director was specifically hired because he'd previously done work on night shoots. And they knew that there would be lots of night shooting required.
George Spenton Foster, wasn't it, or something?
Something like that, yeah. But you see, it annoys me when I see a TV program that's clearly doing day for night shooting.
The good old blue tint.
Yeah, and you can still see shadows on the ground. You know, I know that's not impossible at night, but it's pretty fucking unlikely, right?
Yeah.
But so this is proper nighttime shooting, right? On the topic of, there's 2 issues I've got with this. I do agree that the journey through time is slightly unnecessary, but it's an interesting twist when they go back to the 5th planet. I don't have a problem with that necessarily. I like the whole reconstructed skull. It's got a pentagram that you can only see with an X-ray. Wanda Ventham with painted over eyelids, you know. 2 main issues. The first one is when Dr. Fendelman goes on his rant about mankind having been used, and he says, "Don't you understand, Fendahl, Fendelman, man of the Fendahl," when he hasn't been told the name of the Fendahl at that point in time.
Oh, we found the thing. Well done, you. This goes in the ledger.
The doctor has said
we have a ledger.
The doctor's told us. The doctor's told us, the audience, and Leela that it's a Fendahl. But
is this the international sign language for Leela?
He wasn't in the room. Anyway, the second problem I've got.
Yes.
Why does Granny Tyler call Jack John?
Could be her old husband's name.
Okay. It just
my grandparents used to do that a lot. I'd be called. She'd go through all the male cousins back then, until she got to me. I do it myself sometimes with my cats.
I do it all the time. I call everybody Alexa now.
I call everyone Colin.
Don't do that, because you last week set my Alexa off. You asked yours an Alexa question, and mine bloody gave the answer.
Right.
Hey Alexa.
I'm not being distracted. I'm finishing my goddamn review.
Keep going, boys. Keep going.
Oh, this could be a first. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. This might look like an Amazon Fire Stick controller, but it's actually the button.
Oh, right. Shut up, guys.
Okay. I like Doctor Who stories where they explain ancient superstitions through some form of reality or science. So, you know, the whole throwing the salt over the shoulder.
They
and
rationalise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like stuff like that.
Like with the demons.
Yes. That's the purest example.
Yeah.
Exactly that. And I didn't necessarily have a problem with the Doctor and Leela not being in it a huge amount because I found the interaction between the scientists very interesting.
Yes.
Reminded me of Doomwatch.
Yeah.
It was better than Doomwatch.
As I kind of implied last week, if you're ever out walking at night and suddenly you remember the story Image of the Fendahl, you walk a lot quicker all of a sudden, because that scene with the hiker is always stuck with me.
I stay in Glasgow. If you're out at night in Glasgow, you run.
Right.
I stay off the moors.
Do you want to hear my Glasgow story?
Yes! I love a good Glasgow story.
Some years ago...
And we derailed you, but just that by the side. Glasgow story.
Some years ago, I was the support driver for a cycle tour we drove up to Glasgow, and we were driving down the UK to all of the offices that were owned by the company that I used to work
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
Is this the story where your car gained sentience?
No, it's not the story when I ran myself over. That was 6 days later.
Okay, right, good. This is news to me then. He ran himself over.
We were in Glasgow on the Saturday night, and it was hen party time of year, and we were staying in a YMCA or something, and I have to say, I've never been as scared as I was that night. Glasgow was the most intimidating place I've ever been, and I have to say, no disrespect to the Scottish people, the only bright side to that evening was finding a police box in the high street.
Buchanan Street. You must have been in Buchanan Street. It's still there. The police box in Buchanan
Look
Street.
how proud Eddie looks from all this.
And the next day...
We've got two of them. We've got two of those police boxes.
I found the other one as well. The next day, I was sitting in a road waiting for the cyclist to go by, because I was basically one of 3 drivers, and I had all the equipment and food and stuff. And I found another one, and I thought, fantastic.
Just down to Glasgow Green. Yep.
But
it's
you
not
are
much of a Glasgow story. But put it this way, I'm not going back.
It's like it's as if you got Mount Everest. You need a Sherpa. You need a guide. I'll be your guide next time you come up. Just give me a shout.
I was absolutely terrified.
I just love the fact you are our very own Brian Harvey. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's another story.
Which we will get you to tell at some stage, the day you ran yourself over with your own car. We will, but not tonight. We'll save that one, because hopefully Retta will tell me something about Brian at some stage, and I can humiliate him.
Couple of final thoughts about Image of the Fendahl.
Are you ready for your judgment? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
All right, hang on a second then.
So I did like the direction. The scenes in the cellars, shot from high.
Yep.
Very, very nice. Nicely done, I thought. The opening scenes where you see the skull superimposed over Thea's face. Really simple trick, but it was so well done.
Lovely.
You know, I'm not quite sure about the Fendahl looking like a sort of a weird kind of golden goddess, whatever, you know. And on that basis, I am now ready to pronounce.
Okay, give me 2 seconds. We'll alert the public. All right, well, there we go. Let's hear from Dr. Sinister right now. Well?
I liked it a lot.
Okay. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was
a very long and drawn-out review of the Image of the Fendahl.
I'm so glad I've made it onto this tonight. This is great.
We've been going an hour now.
That's nothing.
Adam
was saying to me that he's like the latest Staggering Stories podcast is about an 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's currently running. He's still trying to trim it down. And he's still trying to trim it down. 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 He And I'm just remembering back to when we used to say, well, we really should only be half an hour. That's the ideal length. 10 minutes would probably be better. Yeah, right. So, do you want to know...
record, like 3 hours?
Hey, what?
Our record is, what, 3 hours?
No, I don't think we've gone that far. Not on the Blade. Possibly with the RPG, but not with the Blade. The Blade, I think, is just over 2 hours.
I think so, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit longer.
Maybe 2.5. I don't know.
Yep.
If you've ever sat through a whole of one of these, do please let us know. No money back, all right? No compensation. Right, so anyway, do you want to know what you're watching next week?
Yes, please. I'll get the pen.
Sure.
It's a season 3 story.
Oh.
With Dodo and Stephen, who happen to have rings on their fingers and bells on their toes. And
I nearly left.
We're watching The Ark. And I would like you to try to observe the bad guy's main priorities in life when it comes to food and making sure they're safe. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know what she means.
Yeah, and how you're not sitting there wetting yourself laughing, I don't know, quite frankly.
So I've got a diaper on. I thought it said that in American so that he could
You've frozen. You've completely frozen. It looks like you just basically got this thing stuck up your nose.
Space shuttle made of Lego.
Do you often have a space shuttle stuck up your nose?
Only
Not
when there's
judging,
been
just, curious.
Okay. Righty.
only when there's been a horrible miscalculation in scale.
All right, so it's The Ark. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it. That's all I'm going to say. The Blake 7 episode, by the way, is The Harvest of Kairos. I will say this to you now. I need to grit my teeth to do this properly. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There should have been another way.
There should have been another way. Oh, it's so sad. There are plenty of Doctor Who quotes you can apply to The Harvest of Kairos. You're in for a rough time next week. I'm sorry, but you are.
We're due it.
Yeah, we are due it.
Like us, Doomwatch, The Harvest of Kairos.
I don't know what the Doomwatch what it
doesn't matter.
It's called by the prickling of my thumbs, but I don't know what it's about. We're going to move on to Doomwatch now.
Eddie, you speak first on Doomwatch.
No, I got to do the summing up first.
Oh dear God.
Basically, Doomwatch are trying to get hold of a new medical doctor to help out, and there's a woman who used to work for a chemicals company who no longer works for that chemicals company because she's thinking of working for Doomwatch. In the meantime, there's an outbreak of typhoid at a kids' hospital where the master is looking after them. The guy in charge of the chemical company is in fact the very first Barusa, and it turns out it's about whether they should. It is quite pertinent. It's about whether they should allow this drug that has a certain amount of side effects to be used because it's the only it's a new drug and it's this typhoid strain is completely resistant to anything else they've got. The only trouble is it has a bad reaction if the patient has already had some of this drug. And unfortunately, due to a naughty person, they had, and so some children die. That's it, roughly. There we go. Eddie, get it off your chest.
No, I would just say one thing, right, about the Doomwatch universe, because I actually wish... I'm watching this and I'm thinking, I wish there's some positives to being a participant in if Doomwatch was that universe was actually real, right? Because
please tell.
we've got all these glamorous like young women, right? Who like there was the girl in it was the farmer's daughter, and she's there experimenting with the drugs.
Very jolly hockey sticks, wasn't she?
Yeah, so and then she talks about how the doctor, dashing young doctor, and it was like, really?
See Pertwee cross quietly in the background. Sorry.
Yeah, this is a universe to be an ugly man in, because and it was like my. I was born. I was a young boy in the 70s. I wish I was a man in the 70s.
T-shirt.
You're...
T-shirt. Doomwatch.
Yeah.
The universe to be an ugly man in.
I mean, hell, Ridge is out there playing the field daily and nightly, and I mean, really, this guy.
We've got to get Anthony Brown on somehow. He knows his Doomwatch inside out. And
right,
you put all these things to him, you know.
So
thing is, you take it seriously.
Hope for me, right, and others of their ilk, right? Because my God, I'd have been a god in that universe.
Dude, you have a brilliant and wonderful imaginary wife. Why are you concerned?
Yeah, but she gets bored with me, and it was part of the reason I'm on here as well. She said as well, so you can't do a podcast, or you'll be like a bear with a sore arse, right? That was her words. So it was like, it's a Glaswegian saying.
No. I just love the fact that it really upsets you if you can't do this.
Oh no!
I find that very sweet. Thank you.
I need this, especially when I've put all the effort watching this. And again, another Glaswegian.
I have to admit, you do put effort in. It's true. That's what it is.
This week, and it was like, again, such a great premise. We've got a new strain of is it typhoid? It's not working. I will say that for this episode, obviously this season, Doomwatch has kind of calmed itself down a little bit, and obviously it's going for a more kind of general populace audience, because if this had been season 1, all the kids would have been dead in the first 5 minutes.
Kids would be dead, and they'd have something about how the medical doctor...
A name you need to watch out for on the credits is Terence Dudley. More on that story later.
Okay, right, so that might have been an inadvertent observation. So it seems so it's more hopeful, but bloody, this is a 20-minute story dragged out for an hour.
Do you honestly want to know what I think? How the hell?
Yeah, please.
How the hell did this become such a big hit?
Yes.
I mean, I can understand a program about modern-day concerns about science. Yes, I can understand that being a big hit. But if it's presented so badly?
I mean, the actual premise of this story is I'm going to do the same as what I said last week. It's sort of, again, disease, not working out, the clock's running short, this guy's daughter's dying, and it's the whole moral dilemma about, does he give her the drug? Because if he does... And none of that's there. It's more of a case of we've got the new person joining Doomwatch, and the big dilemma is, will she be a woman if she joins Doomwatch? Because then she's not going to get a man, and she's not going to be able to. And it was like, and then the whole misogynist. I'm Glaswegian, right? I'm a Glaswegian man. We're known for being misogynistic. I'm ashamed about my man watching this. These people treat it's the whole thing around the women. It was like, oh, she's got to choose career over family and
punishment
family life.
For Sean. Force him to watch this with Angela.
As long as it doesn't mean me having to watch it.
No. Just to see how much he squirms when he sees all this sexism and God knows what in front of his mum.
And again, every week, and I thought, oh great, right, so we're bringing in a female character into Doomwatch, but no, it's all got to be prefixed with that. She's got to sacrifice being a woman if she's going to do it. It's just, and again, great premise, badly presented. It starts to become like bloody Crossroads.
I like Crossroads. No, we won't diss Crossroads here.
Okay, ain't Acorn Antiques?
Thank you.
Again, how this was such a big hit. I've been looking forward to watching this because I was told stop Doomwatch and how big it was in the 70s. And I remember my mum and dad talking about it as well. But it was too scary for Alex to me to watch. And I've seen the film. I've seen the Doomwatch film. And I think the Doomwatch film, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it because I've watched it a few times and I thought, if this is what Doomwatch, the film, is representative of a TV show, I'm really going to watch this TV show and I'm going to enjoy it.
Don't really like the film.
Well, they're wrong.
What I am going to say is, and this might hurt your brain, somehow the BBC made 3 whole series of this.
Wait,
hang on.
3.
I can feel that aneurysm starting.
But
luckily, we don't have all of them.
It's a study in watching how far television has progressed. And seriously, as much as I moan about it, the misogynist, the sadist in me actually enjoys watching these for seeing how bad they are.
To compare, certainly first series Doomwatch to season 7 Doctor Who, which is the better programme?
I need to start watching season 7 Doctor Who.
Spearhead from Space, the Silurians.
Oh, Doctor Who, not even by a mile. And it's the whole thing around...
And that's for kids. And yet, this thing is for adults, and it's...
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing around how Doomwatch and a Doctor Who crossover. I honestly don't think it would work because Pertwee would chew these guys up and spit them out.
I do want to see a Pertwee versus Quist fight. In that case, I've got a question to ask you. All right, I need to cut you a little bit of slack. If you guys want to stop watching Doomwatch, we will stop.
No, I'm committed.
Brian?
I'm committable.
That's fair enough. And Sinister, I don't know if you get to watch these or not, so... all right, well, we'll carry on then. Like I say, next week is by the prickling of my thumbs. Have you spoken, Brian?
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah.
That is another section of your life you won't get back, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sin, do you know anything about this?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
So Doomwatch is about this organisation that's, looking out for things that are going to end the world and
new and unusual threats to mankind.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a genuine question. Do you think this program has maybe contributed in any way toward the BBC public's distrust of scientists?
That's
far too serious a question for us.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at the scientists in this, right, they are all hard-drinking, misogynistic.
Hang on.
They're just...
Hang on. We need to think generationally here.
Do we have any characters in this that are actually, you think?
I mean, you've got people my age, or just a bit older, who will have seen it back then, and then obviously people older than that. We're the ones who are getting older, and they do say you become more conservative. I don't think Doomwatch had that. It might have had a little bit of that during the 70s when people, still had it fresh in their memories, but then it just became a word. But I honestly do not think, for example, I don't think, for example, that Doomwatch in this particular instance has any influence on, for example, the idiots who are anti-vaxxers. I don't know if that's where you were heading with that.
Well, hold that thought.
Oh, don't ask me to do that.
Because I have seen a couple of episodes of Doomwatch. I had them on VHS in the early noughts. And the only bit that sticks in my mind is a man trying to shake a clearly rubber rat off of his leg. And
we saw that one.
And then getting all serious and looking off into the distance and going, Felis ratus, and theorizing about this new breed of rat which is going to take over the world. Anyway.
And made James Herbert a fortune. Look what I did to my... Well, I didn't do it to my finger.
And honestly, the rats in that episode were minor. They weren't even the main theme.
Really hurts.
Going back to the thought that I asked Siobhan to hold. Can I just... A very, very quick question before I go off on one.
Oh, shit.
What is the position of the panel here on the vaccination issue? I have been fully vaccinated.
We are all fully vaccinated.
Right. There is a reason I'm asking this question, and I was debating with myself whether to bring this up, and in fact, it's come up quite naturally and organically as it happens.
Okay.
Well, it's part of this episode.
This wasn't the reason for me going down this route.
All right.
I have a number of friends on Facebook who I have known, who I've never met, but who I have, encountered online through various guises, be it my work with Armchair General magazine, as a Lego fan, as an Action Man fan, as a Doctor Who fan. One of these people, and I'm not going to say the name, very proudly...
Which fandom, please?
Doctor Who.
Oh, you'll tell me afterwards.
One of these people, a few days ago, very proudly changed his profile picture on Facebook to announce to the world that he was very proudly unvaccinated by choice.
Could we have a location of this person?
UK.
Okay, because I think it was yesterday, in Crawley, we had a local anti-vax protest where they said thousands turned up. In fact, it was more in their 30s.
I work with one.
Well,
at the hospital.
I've been this person off because I've never met the guy, and I just thought, what
Facebook
a twat.
friends.
I just thought, what a twat, and I just wondered, yeah, it's kind of something I've been wrestling with the last couple of days because I'm thinking to myself, have I simply subjected him to his own echo chamber?
It's not on you. You can't save everyone. Just try not to be next door when they go off.
Feedback circuit. But the blue crystal, the final blue crystal at the centre of the web, it would destroy him.
I mean, by the time this winter's finished,
yes,
I'll hopefully have had a COVID booster. I get an annual flu shot, and I've already had a pneumonia vaccine, which apparently lasts my whole life. I'm going to be...
Ooh. Or have an interesting number of limbs.
That's funny you should mention the booster vaccine, because we get a text from, again, Scottish Autism.
Sorry, you got our text?
A text.
Oh, sorry, I thought somebody'd come along with a roller.
We're back to... No. So Jack gets his flu jab and his booster jab for COVID in about 2 weeks' time.
Oh, this is very good.
Yeah.
Sean,
my son, gets his second jab. Gets his second jab middle of this month, and then we're all fully vaccinated. To be honest, though, I do believe it's a personal choice. If you don't
and I actually owe you an apology because I told everybody that you were vaccinated without your permission.
Without my permission?
Yes, without. I automatically volunteered private information about you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Listen, this thing, I've been bitten and it's a spider bite. I know it's a spider bite because it's large and swollen. And eventually, I mean, last time I had one on my hand, and my hand turned into Noah's hand from the Ark in Space.
Are you going to develop spider powers? Am I going to have to impale you through the chest?
I don't know. We're going to have to find out.
Eddie, can I just say, you are right. It is a personal choice.
But just the prefix, though, right? But if you want to go on holiday, if you want to travel, if you want to go to a nightclub, no. There's an element of personal freedom will be taken away because you're putting other people at risk.
I 100% agree. And what I objected to was the manner in which this arsehole just said...
Celebrating the fact that he is an arsehole. Yeah, exactly.
Hello, and welcome back to the Flash and Blade podcast. I don't care. This podcast is always meant to be political. Right, so that was Image of the Fendahl. No, hang on, that was Doomwatch. Right, okay, next week, as I said, it's by the prickling of my thumbs. Next week's Doctor Who story is The Ark. Now, we also did listening, so hang on a second. Hands up here who listened to the Master box set. All of it. Hands up who listened to some of it. Right, so Brian, it's you and me.
It's you.
It's me, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want Nick Briggs getting mad at me.
Okay. To be fair, the context Brian was listening to it in was almost forced. So that can't have helped.
That colored my entire perception of
exactly, because it turned up so late in the week. But basically, it's the War Master, and he's landed on a planet ostensibly for the Time Lords. This planet got time locked because some time torpedoes or whatever got detonated inside, which did a thing to the race that they became immortal, absolutely immortal. But they can die.
Time torpedoes is a thing from the comic strip.
Well, that's where I got it from just then. I don't know what it was that was actually fired. It was a space thing from Time, and and so they're essentially immortal, though they can be killed. But the cost of this is that they're a sterile race. They've got no way of furthering the race at all. And it's the race, because they're so long-lived, have stagnated into a class system. A ridiculous class system, but one nonetheless. And the Master's managed to make a small hole in the time lock to get in and out. And I'm guessing he's decided he wants to rule this place. And so the first part of this is him meeting various people he can push up to become the ruler, so he can rule behind the scenes. All but one of them fail. And that's when the Master realizes he's met someone just as good as him. The second story is him, because he goes away for a couple of stories to get a couple of things he needs. The second story has Joe Grant in it. And probably the most extreme form of gaslighting you'll ever hear. This Master is cruel. He's horrifically cruel. He's certainly easily the cruelest of them all, the Masters. If it wasn't for Roger Delgado, he would be my favourite. Because he can just switch from warm uncle to just... and what he does to Joe is horrible. And she doesn't come out of it very well. However, saying that, what he does to Nyssa in the next story is also very horrible, and I don't know how Nissa's going to get out of that. I don't want to give anything...
Where do these stories occur in the Joe and Nyssa context?
Basically,
theory?
Long after they've left the Doctor.
Right, okay.
Nyssa is working on a medical ship trying to... because part I forgot is there is a plague going around where suddenly a person who catches it will age, but they'll relive their worst memories as they do. So they end up screaming. And so she's there to try and cure the plague. Yeah. These two stories... I mean, the whole box set. Get the box set, listen to the box set, because it's brilliant. But those two stories in the middle are as dark as I think Big Finish have ever gone. I really mean that.
I also found them dull.
Well, again, you were fitting them in, you know?
There came a point where it's playing, you know? And I took the dog for a walk and forgot to turn it off and came right back.
Well, that's fair enough. Now, me, I was totally gripped by it. So...
Brian was in a state of ungrippedness.
I was very nonplussed.
Hang on a second. Hang on. The clam, its jaws open.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, well, that just shows that, this is the world, this is life, this is human beings. We disagree about exactly the same thing, which is wonderful. And you're
just
wrong.
Made me want to listen to him more. I've got to listen to him now and kind of.
Please do. I think this.
Take your time. It's 4 hours long.
It is. That was the added thing. There was 4 of them, and like I say, I can
tell Big Finish exactly what to do to make this more palatable. Split it in half.
That's understandable. I'm not going to dispute that. It is 4 hours, but I binged it because I was totally gripped by it. So, next week, I believe we've got the second Ninth Doctor set. Oh, hang on, Eddie wants to say something.
No, I was just going to Eccleston.
Yes, second Eccleston set's coming out. No Cybermen yet, though. So we'll have to see what that's like, because I wasn't overly impressed by the first one.
Did you like that, Eddie? What I posted?
The
here?
Yes, I did. I totally agree with the sentiment. Yes, absolutely.
Idiots. Anyway. Right. So
I told you I was going to work that in somehow.
Well, the fact you're an idiot, it's very easy to do.
Mm-hmm. No, that you are the star around which
definitely, absolutely
revolves.
Listen, one day you will say that one too many times, and I'll start believing it. And on that day, you just kick me off the show.
Nah, that's when it gets fun.
Fuck off. I set myself up as a Captain Manring style character. The pompous balloon to be pricked, basically. And, but plus, I've relaxed an awful lot over the years, so I'm not as. Don't know what it is. There's a huge difference between this, what we're doing now, and audio podcasting. And now, forget the fact that this is live for the moment. All right, if this was just, if we were recording this like we did for the video progs, then if we were recording this, I'd be a hell of a lot more relaxed than if I was recording an audio podcast. And I don't know why. I honestly think it's the visual side of it, the fact I can see you. It's and I mean, I absolutely adore. I'm loving doing these every Sunday. I really am. And I'm really relaxed. I mean, Brian, you were the same. The first 2 or 3, I was on edge a little bit to see how it was going to work out.
You too?
Yeah. Because it's the same any time I get a new co-host, especially someone who's not podcasted before. But if there is somebody who's podcasted before, they've got their verbal tics that I've got to adapt to as well. Which is why I never get any. I always get a new person. That way, my way. Ha. Yeah, that. I don't know what I was talking about. We've got to do Blake 7 yet.
No.
Yes, we do.
We're on to Blake 7.
Yeah, we are on to Blake 7. Yeah.
We'll get a split decision on the Big Finish this week, but I'm going to give him a listen because I'm intrigued.
I would like Brian to go back to it in a few months' time when he's, not pushed. Give it a year or so.
It's a bit much for maybe 2-3 days of.
Yeah, I've been
Siobhan,
like that, but
was it like a new adventure? Was it like a new adventure? You're a big fan of the new adventures.
Yeah.
Was it reminiscent of the new adventures in terms of the tone and the darkness?
It was really dark.
Yes, certainly the middle 2 episodes. Yes. Right. Imagine it as if Kate Orman had written it. Except it's not the Doctor being put through hell. It's Joe and Nyssa in 2 separate stories.
Why? The Master keeps coming back to poor Nyssa.
Why do you think?
Hasn't he destroyed her life enough?
No. No, the more he can twist the knife, the happier he becomes. That's the sort
I've got
of...
to listen to this now. I've got to listen to this now.
Oh, trust me. This is a woman who's lost everything. And he turns up presenting himself as a doctor who's been sent to help. And he's this avuncular, happy, jolly uncle figure, almost a father figure to her. And then, eventually, it clicks. And the person she's been developing daughterly feelings for is the bastard that stole and killed her father. And it goes further than that. It goes further than that. It is... I decided to just sit down and look at a list of big finishers, because there are a lot I haven't heard. I say this is easily the darkest they've done. Spare Parts is dark. This just takes it to a whole new level. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Big Finish, hi reviewer, hi Big Finish intern. I've just given you a quote. I cannot recommend this highly enough. Siobhan Galichon, The Flashing Blade. All right? Please use us on your buddy publicity. Brian, this is where you turn and do the thing about subscribing.
Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything.
See, I had to cue you. You're normally so shit hot on that.
We're talking about
no, you've got to say, if you want to be a proper YouTuber, you've got to smash that like button.
Okay, you might find it interesting to know that apart from smash that like button, the rest of it was in robot speak. Your internet was doing a thing. Yeah,
so where's the real Sinister? Where is it? You're obviously your clones aren't available tonight, and you've used the Android.
This is
not my internet thing. I've got gigabit internet speeds.
Well, if it's all happening if we're all getting the same thing, the common cause and therefore Occam's razor would be.
I met Occam once. He had a beard.
He was a boffin. Of course, he had a beard.
The razor was for his head. He was bald.
Dear God!
I don't know. He always had a hat on whenever we met up for tea.
and as for Burridon's ass, oh dear. Move away from there, Siobhan. Move away from there. Blake 7. This is Dawn of the Gods we watched, where the Liberator is grabbed by some magnificent force and dragged to a space which is no space, it's just darkness, but somehow has a flaw. It's a little bit creepy in the darkness. There's a machine with lights that goes round, and Villa fucks up completely. And it turns out it's an ancient legend from Callie's people on Auron, of this evil god who actually was real, and he was collecting Herculaneum, with which the Liberator is made out of, to build himself some sort of escape pod thing to get out of this black hole thing. It was shit. Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. Go on then.
As I said last...
We need to get that on the DVD box set. Siobhan Galichon, Flashing Blade. It's shit.
It was shit.
As I said last week, when I was collecting the Blake 7 VHS releases,
yes,
they came out 2 episodes of tape every other month or so.
Yes.
And Volcano and Dawn of the Gods was on one tape. That tape didn't get watched very much because they're 2 very forgettable episodes.
I quite liked Volcano, but Dawn of the Gods I can understand.
I refer to this as the Dr. No episode.
Interesting.
Have you ever seen Dr. No, where there's a mysterious alligator painted tank on an island keeping the locals away?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking about Tarrant and his swimwear coming out of the water.
No,
okay.
no, I'm thinking...
I've done it to Brian's head! I've done it to Brian's head!
Broken Brian. They've both got...
404 Brian not found.
they've both got alleged creatures in that are actually just vehicles painted with glowing eyes to look like, you know, monsters to scare people.
Yes.
The way
that Villa.
It's like Crow.
Sorry?
It works with Villa.
Yeah, well, Villa's an idiot. The way that I can't remember his name, the guy with the cane and the top hat. I mean, what a fucking ridiculous outfit that is. What's that all about?
He's the henchman to the devil.
And then you've got the guy in charge of all the slaves doing the computations is apparently dressed like a we've lost Eddie.
Oh, he's back again.
Is apparently dressed like a bloody card fucking person on a bloody Mississippi barge. You know, he's got what the fuck is going on? And basically they've got two rooms in the Tharn's got this planetoid or whatever that's actually got three rooms. It's got one room where the Liberator parks, and I'd like to come back to this in a minute.
Please do.
It's got one room where these slaves work, calculating things. The room that also has the big lever in it, one big lever that can turn off everything.
Yes.
And then you've got the room where Callie is, where there's a shock reveal that the Tharn is an old man.
No.
Wow, that's really shocking. And it's just
that's his bachelor pad. You know, that's where he takes the pics.
That's his crib.
The bit at the end where the timing of it is all wrong at the end, where suddenly someone's realised, fuck me, we have 30 seconds to finish this episode. And Tarrant says to Zen, stand by with the thrusters, but in case we manage to break free, bang, suddenly the Liberator's in space. Like, you know, and the other thing is, right, have you seen the shape of the Liberator?
Yes, I have. And I had the Corgi toys, and the gun's always bent.
No.
It's got a long central section, which, and I've got the blueprints. That's the habitable bit. The three pods are fucking huge guns, basically, with the engine globe at the back.
Right.
Where is Villa exiting the ship from?
I have wondered this myself. The only thought I could come up with was he'd come out of the bottom of one of the engine nacelles or pods or whatever that wasn't quite on the ground, because it's, you know, because it goes up like that, doesn't it, and along. And so, but in that case, why wasn't the flight deck tilted like that? Because they're having to.
Well, basically,
the Liberator has its own gravity inside.
Yes.
True.
Yes, yeah.
True.
So, but there's never been any indication that the pylons and the gun bits have any kind of habitable space inside.
2 seconds a moment. Eddie, that's not edible. You haven't deep fried it.
Sorry.
Carry on.
I can dream though. No, I'm down to my last gig and a half. So just saying.
So, in summary, then, because he's only got a gig and a half left, it's fucking shit.
That's his judgment for that. We won't go through all the.
No. It's fine. A gig and a half should get me. Hopefully,
Brian.
That's
Good.
No. It wasn't bad. It was disappointing. You ever see the Star Trek episode Empath, where they did the minimalist set?
Yes.
That's what this whole thing reminded me of. They ran out of budget.
Not, oh shit, they've run out of money.
Yeah. Oh no. That's also what it reminded me of. Oh shit, they ran out of money. The big bad devil guy at the end was just a little old telepath man.
You've yet to meet Moloch.
Honestly,
this is how I reasoned you.
When they were flying away, did you see the look that Callie gave when asked about him? No, I haven't seen him. I kind of... Okay, if this were a modern show, I would say that he probably swapped places and is now playing the part of Callie. If this were a modern show.
Are you saying it's not?
I'm saying this isn't even close to my role-playing games.
Though any superheroes in Blake 7
I
don't
would
get
totally
killed.
throw at you guys. You know? Oh no, it's not Kelly. It's, you know, her telepathic devil god thing.
Telepathic devil god thing. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. I think that Tarrant could do with a couple more lashes from the Nero.
Now, hang on. Thank you very much. It's the Series C question. I'll be asking this all series. On a scale of 1 to 100 in your professional expertise, just how much of it was of an arrogant, irritating, smug git was Tarrant this week?
1 to 100?
Yep.
You're really limiting it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you wiggle room because there'll be times when there's more smugness and irritating. The best is yet to come.
I'll go with a 62.
Okay, 62 there from Brian. Eddie?
70.
I did like the bit.
70.
Sorry.
No. Please go.
I was going to say I've thought of something I did like about it.
I know it ended.
I did like the bits where they were trying to find Aurak, and they had the thing that says, "Oh, we can detect you if you lie," and they're like, "I've never seen him."
That was a nice scene.
Yeah,
that was a nice scene.
What kind of hair does he have?
He doesn't have any hair.
I don't believe he has hair.
Yeah, that.
How tall is he?
The thing is, that showed thought. What happened to the rest of the show? You know,
budget.
Eddie, your turn to do talking.
There was a couple of things I did like about it. The whole premise, and sorry I get cut off because I kind of lost connection for a bit, so if it's been brought up before, it's like the dastardly kind of Aurak, and it's the whole thing, and Avon pulls it out, that he craves information, he needs input, he needs data. So this is something he doesn't understand or know about. So he doesn't lie, but he'll manipulate the whole situation in terms of so that they go there, and he's finding out about this area of non-space or whatever it is that they go. So I quite like that.
Interesting thought.
Avon at the end.
Sorry, go on.
Avon at the end, when he feels the need, and again we're seeing the other side of Avon. There's a cold, calculating facade that he puts on, but deep down inside, right, he's a decent bloke. He just hides it. And it's the whole thing around that we're going to have to go to the guy's planet so that he can pass on the final words for the person that's sacrificing for. Like that. Everything else in between, I'll add my one word: shit. Yes, absolute utter shit.
I think that's a general. All four of us are in the shit.
And Tarrant, sorry. Why is Avon
1 to 100?
putting up with?
You said 70, didn't you?
I said 70. I'm going to put up to 80.
You need room to go up. You need to keep room to go up.
Why does Avon tolerate this? I don't understand why Avon
Wait
just puts something.
and see. Sinister, Are you going to give us a Tarantometer reading?
Avon tolerates Tarrant because in a later episode, Tarrant has made himself out to be one of the most astute space captains in the galaxy.
Yes.
And he can fly the ship. And Avon basically needs someone who's good at flying the ship.
Did you notice something I didn't mean? I can't remember if it was this week or last week. Dana firing the ship's weaponry was from was from Gan's old station at the back, whereas it's normally Villa at the front firing the weaponry.
Yeah, I don't
know what that means. I don't think it means anything.
No, I think
they were taking the controls apart at one point in time.
It's starting to look a bit ropey, that set now, isn't it? Third year.
Each control panel is able to be configured to whichever position you want, maybe with the exception of the pilot station. But I do like the fact that they maintain the continuity with, activating the neutron flare shield and that kind of thing. There's a process they have to go through. Yeah. In answer to your question about Tarrant's arrogance, 73.5.
Thank you very much.
That's precise.
And
can I just say that? Can I just say somebody that's actually been on the Liberia, been on the bridge, has sat at those things? I have no idea.
Right. Well, I have to admit, I was looking at it, and then all right, I'm watching it on the big screen, but I think they're gonna need to do it up for the fourth series because it's getting tatty now. They really do.
Something needs to happen.
Yeah. Anyway, that was Blake 7. Next week, I am sorry, my children, we have the Harvest of Kairos. You are in for some fun times.
In so many different regards.
Yeah.
There's a special hell reserved for people.
That degrading thing you did to me earlier. I should like you to do it again.
Woman. Yeah. And with a total lack of logic in one of the decisions at the end.
It's for next week. So I'm afraid you do have a bit of a dodgy week next week. You've got the Ark, which you might enjoy, you might not enjoy. I don't know. It's interesting to see which way down you're going to come on this one. Hopefully, if it arrives in time, the Eccleston box set.
Can we just confirm that it's the Ark and not the Ark in space?
The Ark, the Hartnell story, season 3 Ark. Okay, the one with the elephant. Yes, it's a live elephant in the studio. Before you asked, we've got Doomwatch. I've no idea how good or bad that's going to be, and it's the Harvest of Kitros.
Making the Harvest a good educated guess.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out these days.
No, it's not. Now then, Jess has come into chat. She's got people lined up for the Scottish autism streamer. I don't know if she means in the same way that Sinister would have people lined up. No. But I know we've got enough people for it.
Rehost.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to what's the word?
Ask.
No. Stream her stream.
Yes, you're going to rehost.
Yeah. But one thing would be useful to do, Jess, is to have, instead of your webcam just showing you, just show whoever's talking. It might make people with epilepsy go a bit wobbly if we all start going at once. But that way people can, it's not going to be you stuck there the whole time for 24 hours, everyone watching your every move.
No, she doesn't do that anymore.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to shut up then. But yes, the Scottish Autism 24-hour playing of Diablo 2 is coming. I have no idea when we're going to do it. I'm hoping before Christmas.
Any word from Scottish Autism, Eddie?
Then you get a chance. I need to speak to somebody called Jennifer, who wasn't working on shift today, so I'll catch up with her this week.
So that is a word from Scottish Autism.
There we go. That's word.
Yep.
We're moving ahead with this. We're actually progressing.
We are indeed. It's all going to go horrifically wrong.
Of course, it's us.
Exactly.
We got, like I say, it's the stretch goal thing.
I'm already planning for it to go wrong.
It's the stretch goals. We've got to come up with some stuff we can actually do. I mean, I don't mind talking like Captain Mama said for an hour. Talk as Hartnell for an hour if I had to, or Captain Mannering. I can do Captain Mannering.
Donate $250. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. I'll take my shirt off.
Well, you've got 2 shirts on. I can see that here.
I didn't say which one.
He's doing a Sheldon. Oh dear, I'm sure I've forgotten something.
Take my shirt off now. I mean,
what have I forgotten?
Oh. Forgotten in what regard?
I don't know.
Any Doctor Who news this week? Any Doctor Who news? Did we do that?
Well, with the toys and the very fact that I'm after as many Day of the Dalek sets as I can get.
Said it's Terry Nation's birthday.
Work something out. Of course, there's me wondering what the hell to do with all the extra gold Daleks I'll have.
Give away Daleks.
Give the Daleks to the Hooverville raffle. Why not do that? That means I'm not going to have to package each one up individually and post it or anything else like that, which I really can't be asked. Daleks are fiddly. This way people can win themselves a Chief Dalek. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. That was so subtly done. I'm impressed by that. I got a job for you, though. I do have a job for you.
Me?
Yep. If this is going to become a regular segment, we need a jingly logo thingy, please.
Well, to be fair, I've got Cybermen Tardai, the plural of TARDIS.
I thought it was just some pretty coloured T-shirt.
And Daleks. I can't think of any more
All right.
I can't be...
Okay.
Right.
Quiz time, everyone. It's the Dr. Sinister quiz,
yes.
and I'm allowed to take part in this one.
Okay. Now,
Right.
Sorry, do we have a chat in this Discord?
We do, yes.
How do I get to that
You
on this?
exit full screen,
Oh, yeah.
and the chat should be just underneath.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right.
In case you're wondering, boys and girls, this is the background.
Okay. So, all three of you, what I'd like you to do is I am going to show a Cyberman figure.
Right.
And you have to tell me in the chat, in writing, the name of the story or episode from whence it originated.
Okay, slight problem here is because I've got the chat here. You're actually quite a small picture, so I'm going to have to look in.
What I suggest then is we'll have maybe 10 seconds of full screen, and then I'll give you, say, 30 seconds to put in your answers.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Go on then.
And, right. They're not coming out in any order. This is item Cyberman number 1.
Unfortunately. Oh, there we go. All right.
Cyberman number 1.
Okie dokie.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Yep.
I need to know the story that it is from.
The thing is, if I put my answer first, they'll just copy it.
Can we have a gentle beings agreement not to do that, please?
Yes.
How about if I give you a little countdown and you all put your answers in on 10? Something like that.
Answers are in.
They're in anyway.
I don't think it really matters that much. What is a problem is
I'll count down.
You keep freezing up. Be careful.
Well, that's the CIA for you.
Mm-hmm.
Siobhan's right anyway. Siobhan got it.
Yeah.
Knight Rider.
American. Just ignore him.
Okay. Right. How to explain this? Knight Rider is not a Doctor Who story.
Man.
Siobhan is correct. Siobhan, can you all please make a note of your points? Siobhan, you have 1 point.
Hooray!
It's from The Invasion.
Yes. I think you'll find there's some character options, but...
Which Doctor, Siobhan?
A second Doctor, of course.
Okay. Right. Okay. Now.
Yes.
This is an interesting one coming up.
No.
Would you like to go back to full screen, please?
Right-ho, yep.
And I've done this deliberately. This is Cyberman number 2. What story is this Cyberman from? Right. Cyberman number 2.
Hang on a second.
And what I'm going to do is, don't put your answers in yet. In a minute.
Too late.
Oh, in a minute, I'm going to minimize the thing, and I'm going to give a countdown.
And so I've got the answer, unless you're trying to be a tricky git with a variant.
Okay, so I'm going to go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and that's when you press enter, both of you, right? Airwolf. Yeah. I think I can see what's going wrong here. Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commit your answers, please.
Type quickly, Eddie. Oh, listen, he's going to be right at some stage.
Eddie,
law of averages. When
Eddie, have you ever seen a story that's other than Earthshock?
Yes, I have. Sorry, I was just being flippant.
Right. Yes, the answer is correct. Siobhan is Revenge of the Cybermen. Now, I've done that deliberately because, as you will see...
Oh, that was cunning of you. Oh.
Very similar. Right. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Cyberman number 3.
Oh.
It's easy.
Ooh. He's neat.
We need this sort of thing to get us ready for the Whoville quiz.
Don't put your answers in just yet. Has everyone had a good look?
Yep.
What about the Cyberman? Haha.
Ta-da! Go on.
Okay.
Ready?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commit your answers, please.
Well done, Benny. Well done, Eddie boy.
Well, you see, if I was playing by strict rules, Eddie would not get a point. But
yeah, that's the amount of time he had between you saying go and him having to put it up.
I ran out of time to put the rest in.
Okay, yes, it is the specially adapted sewer disguised Cyberman from Attack of the Cybermen. 6th Doctor story. So Eddie and Siobhan, you each have a point.
How many am I up to? I'm up to 3 now. Right, okay.
You're at 3.
Brian, I'm pleased to see that you have moved on from your peculiar obsession with American trivia.
He hasn't said Street Hawk yet.
Right.
Or Manimal.
Hold on, I've got a choice here because I've got the same and I've got a slight variation. Hold on. Right. This is Cyberman number 4.
I feel like I'm on the generation game.
Cyberman number 4.
Okay, that one's easy.
Ooh. Check the brain.
It's a bionic brain, Eddie.
That's not what it looks like.
And the hands.
And the little balls they used at primary school.
Oh, the not quite ping pong balls. Yeah. Right. And the fact that the piping doesn't join up to the balls properly. Right. Okay.
I think Eddie's already put his answer in.
I'll put the full thing in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Commit, please. Spider-Man and his amazing friend.
Where's Manimal? I demand Manimal.
Can I just say?
Oh, I loved Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
There was Iceman. There was Iceman, and this is indeed Tomb of the Cybermen, where they were frozen in ice. So, Brian, like it or not, you're getting half a point.
I get it. Yeah,
you're getting half a point. Okay.
He called your bluff there, mate, didn't he?
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You ready for this?
No.
This is Cyberman number 5. Cyberman number 5.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Oh, I know that one.
Okay. Eddie's put his answer already.
Oh, sorry. I get excited.
Emotions are a weakness.
No. The Glaswegian thing.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Automan.
Oh, I loved Automan as well.
Great show. That had Cybermen in it.
Right. Eddie.
Automan himself was a Cyberman.
Half a point. Eddie, I'm afraid, close but no cigar.
Ah.
So what am I up to now then, Sin?
I don't know. You're keeping count.
I think it's... have we had 5 questions?
You're on 5, Siobhan. I'm on 2, and Brian is on 1.
Okay, good. Right.
Okay. The next one.
What's Sinister on?
The next one. Bear with me. Oh, yeah, let's go with this. Okay.
Right.
Right. This is Cyberman number 6.
Please, Janet.
That's a tough one. That's
Cyberman number 6. Check out the human hands, everybody.
Oh, human hands. That gives it away.
Have I spelled that right? Well, it could be one of 2.
I'm going to have to take a guess.
Yeah, 50-50 shot.
I'm not doing trick questions.
No, I appreciate that. And the design is slightly different in the second one. And I don't think they've actually done a model of the design from the second one. So...
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please commit. If you put Street Hawk,
yes, Manimal. Yes.
10th Planet.
Again,
the very first
close.
Cyberman story.
Close. He's best Cyberman ever. Best Cyberman ever.
I'm disappointed with you, Eddie.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Come on, how long have you been with us? How long have you been watching us? You know the frequency with which I have to put up the unworthy of the diamond logo JPEG. I mean, why do you think it became a fucking T-shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think it's now the official logo of our show?
This is our tagline now.
I've got something else coming up now. Ready?
What am I on 6?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Now,
6.
there is a slight issue here in that I can't actually remember the episode title, but I'm sure Siobhan can. This is Cyberman number 7.
Ah, right, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Spell checker. I'll just say this: spell checker is not happy.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please commit your answers. Pandorica opens. Yes,
That's what I was typing.
Yeah.
I believe him.
I'm giving you a point for that. That's fine. Okay. Now we will be going back to full-size Cybermen in a minute, but I would like to introduce you to Cyber Thing number 8.
Oh, I know that one.
Oh.
Cyber Thing number 8. You get 2 points if you also name what this is. So 1 point for the story, 1 point for the item, please. Ready? It's not a dildo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
You had to say that when I'd had a swig of coffee.
Yeah, okay. So, Eddie and Siobhan, 2 points each.
9?
Brian, I am deducting all of your points.
All of his point?
His point.
All my point. I have no idea what he said after that.
No, you froze up again, Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I won't be mean.
I'll admit, the only reason I got that was the cyber mat. As soon as I saw the cyber mat, then that's what I typed.
I'm intrigued to know what's wrong with your internet tonight.
It was in the department store.
Okay.
It was with Stormageddon and Alfie.
Next
well,
one.
That is Alfie.
Next one. This is
Blue Thunder, Brian. Blue Thunder. You haven't used Blue Thunder.
Oh, that's true.
Number 9.
Ah! Now this is a trick one.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's an old one.
Siobhan,
yeah.
I will take any of the.
Well, I'll put both of them, but yeah. And
hang on.
Because I can't remember which way round each one is. It's just a redistribution of the piping.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The Highwayman.
It'll be the littlest hobo next.
Oh, the Highwayman. No, that was the
Highwayman was fantastic.
That's the one that had Flash Gordon in it.
Helicopters.
And it had Jane Badler as Badler as well, if I can remember rightly.
And Jocko. Oi!
I was going to put the moon base. I actually was going to put moon base.
It is.
We're not sure. I think the sets from. It says it's from Tomb, but the costumes are almost identical, but the piping was a bit different.
No, the helmet's slightly different in the Wheel in Space.
No. I'm saying from Tomb and Moonbase.
Yeah. Tomb and Moonbase. So basically, Siobhan, I will give you 1 point because you named one correct story. Eddie, the helmets.
I named 2 correct stories.
Yeah, you only get one, but only 1 point available though. Eddie, I believe in Wheel in Space, the chest unit was rotated and it's different helmet.
I should also point out there were 3 different variants in Wheel in Space.
Yeah, and in the Wheel in Space, it's the first one I think that's got the tear ducts on the eyes.
Yes, and also on the mouth.
Yes. Okay. Now, if Eddie doesn't get the next one,
yes.
I shall be very
I'm taking it now.
Okay. Right here.
Okay, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is Cyberman number 10.
On Brian, you can get this one.
Come on, Brian.
Okay. Ah! Can I see Can I see its feet, please?
I want to see the Herculoid.
The feet were the important.
Under the Barbarian? No.
All I would say is, I want your excellent answers, please.
Wrong Cyberman. Sorry, the feet were important. I will explain why afterwards. Because I have no life. Join along at home, by the way.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Correct.
Hooray! You see, Earthshock had the moon boots, whereas Five Doctors and Attack of the Cybermen had other boots.
I got it correct.
Can I just say, Siobhan, you are absolutely correct, which means this model that we've already seen is wrong.
Yes, it is.
Oh, is it wearing the moon?
All right, I'm changing my answer because I got one right. There we go.
Okay. Now, we are coming up to, I think, bear with me one sec.
I've no idea. I got them all right. That's all I can remember. I got 2 points for one of them.
Hang on. Okay.
You're on 11, Siobhan.
I'm glad you're keeping track because I can't.
Okay.
Notice how it's all been classic Cybermen so far.
No. We're just
No, they had the Pandorica head.
You're quite right. I do apologise. This is new for this show. I like this.
Right. We now enter what I like to call
the winter of discontent.
The final round.
What do other people like to call it?
What I wanted to know.
This is Cyberman number 11.
Right.
Okay.
New Who.
Okay. That is from.
I know what you're looking for. I know what you're looking for.
Yes, I know you do.
Yep. Looking at the chest. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just putting one story title down, but it's all it needs.
I'm ready. I got this one. This is going to be a good one.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Land of the Lost.
It was the Cyberman that was working with the Slee Stacks.
Siobhan, would you like to explain your answer, please?
Yes, I would. You see, what you did was you asked a question, and that meant I had to answer it. So I went to my keyboard after doing a little bit of thought, and I typed out "A good man goes to war."
Well, it's the Cyberman who asked Rory, what was the doctor's message.
Yes, I know exactly what Sinister's asking.
Do I need to repeat the question? It didn't have the C in his chat.
That's it. That's what he was asking.
Fantastic.
Look, I understand it. I'm just going with it.
Basically, you just don't give a damn about this, and rightly so, if I'm honest.
Next one, please.
This one?
This one now.
Okay.
Okay, that's the... Yeah.
Don't give it away.
No, I'm running out of kid shows.
I'm a little bit upset that you didn't fall for my trap.
Okay.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
No, I don't know. I'm not as good with the new ones.
I've lost track of how many points I've got.
You're on 12.
Yeah, Siobhan.
You're on top.
Eddie, you're not entering? You're not going to put...
I honestly don't know.
Champion the Wonder Horse,
What did Siobhan put down? Yeah, it's Age of Steel. I'll go with that.
Okay.
This is the reaction we didn't do last week.
Right. Next one, please. You'll notice there's a bit of a theme coming up here.
I'm not giving myself that one because I'm not.
Now, for 2 points, I want to know the name of this particular Cyberman as well as the story.
Oh, is this the new one? Oh.
And I will just give you a clue. Nipples.
Nipples.
I might get this one wrong,
This is new Who. I'm not going to get it.
Yeah, that's where I'm starting to have trouble.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Sigmund the Sea Monkey. You're just making words up now.
No, that was a Sid and Marty Krofft show in the 70s.
Okay.
It was on Saturday mornings. Would you like me to go into the Boogaloos?
Eddie.
Only if they're electric.
Is it? Okay, Army of Ghosts, I'll go with.
It looks like the cyber controller from...
Dude, it's quicker just to copy and paste.
Right. We are coming up to the final entry.
They haven't given us the answer to this one yet.
It was right.
It was right.
Steel.
Yeah.
And it's the
Age of Steel.
And
is it the controller?
Thank you.
Cyber controller.
Right, right. I'm now up to 20 points.
I did my duty. Yeah.
Okay. This is the last entry in our thing.
Right.
I do have a 3.5-inch Cyberman.
Do you indeed? You're a man, so it's obviously a lot smaller.
Yeah. So
remember, this is 3.5 inches.
Actually, no. I'm going to give you 2 more answers. Two more. Sorry.
Oh, give us the answers. Do it in Jeopardy style.
Oh, cool. That's a bit gruesome.
And technically incorrect. Not the model itself, though. The TV thing it is based on is technically incorrect.
Just guessing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Answers, please. Attack of the Cybermen is correct. Bionic Showdown, Return of the $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman. Do you know what, Eddie? You're getting 10 points for that.
That was Brian.
Sorry, Eddie. Fuck it. 10 points for everyone.
Hooray!
Right, including me. Right.
About time you scored.
Final entry. This is genuinely, legitimately the final entry now.
Okay.
No.
Oh, no.
I've just thought of one more.
Okay.
Sorry. Penultimate entry. I've just thought of something.
Okay.
Another thing.
Oh, that's the Christmas special, isn't it?
All right. He's frozen again. Oh, he's moving again. That's nice.
Right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Leader. Next Doctor.
So I think I'm on 15. I'm not sure.
Believe that is...
on that.
Yes. Now. Stand by. I just got to put all my Cybermen back. But there
you
will
have
be...
to tell us who got it right.
Siobhan got that right, and
I
Eddie...
kind of guessed that already.
No, Brian got that right.
Was it Nightmare on Silver?
No, it's not.
Was it?
Sorry, I got it right.
No, it's
you two got it wrong.
The next Doctor.
Sorry.
Yeah.
With the
no,
governor.
yes. I'm confused. What's happening? Right.
I don't know what's happened to my podcast.
One moment, please.
Clearly, my cunning plan has paid out.
If I've got this right, so Siobhan, you're on 18.
Oh, Jesus.
Brian's on 11, and I'm on 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Despite
Last
Brian's
entry
best efforts.
You get
Last
10.
Hang on. No.
Last entry.
Brian. Eddie, you need to add 10 to each of those
Eddie,
scores.
you got 10.
Oh,
So
right.
you're at 16.
We each had an extra 10.
Okay. Are you ready?
Eddie's just adjusting the scores.
Yes.
I know he's made of Lego, but he's quite accurate. Yes, I bite my nails. No, I don't care.
I just realised they might be watching the Twitch stream.
Who?
Eddie and Brian.
Oh. Okay.
Doesn't
Oh, no, I've not got the Twitch stream open because
I
5,
do
4,
have the
3,
Twitch
2, 1,
stream open.
go.
Yay, Eddie!
Okay. Now,
Right.
okay, you're all correct. Brian, you've just got 30 points, and you are the winner.
Yay!
I feel oddly cheated.
You should. I paid him off at the beginning of
Seriously. See, I've spoken to my chief scientist, Adam Purcell, from the inferior Crawley podcast. I mean, Staggering Stories. And if they manage to make it in time for the Friday night quiz at Hooverville, but I don't think they will. But if they do, it's a battle royale between us, and basically, Sinister, I'm relying on you because between us we should be all right. And if Thomas comes, we'll be fine. And as I said last week, Eddie will be there as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Eddie will be
I'm so sorry. If they fail to turn up, of course, naturally they forfeit.
right. I would just say, did everybody enjoy the quiz? Because I can do 2 more of those.
I did, yes. What are we doing next week? And I'll actually even make you study for it.
You've got a choice between Daleks or Tardai.
Tardai for me.
Again, I'm going to crack the joke again. Do you mean your other T-shirts? Tardai T-shirts.
No problem. I'll binge watch movies from the 80s this week.
Okay, so right. Well, what do you fancy next week, guys? Do you want police boxers, or what was the other one?
Daleks.
Daleks. What about the sonic screwdrivers?
Oh yes, of course.
You get 3.
I can do sonic screwdrivers as well.
That's what I thought you were doing this week, actually.
This week it was supposed to be sonic screwdrivers.
Oh, I'd forgotten about that one. Sorry. I can do sonics next week.
Let's do Sonics next week. That'll be good.
That'll be fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're easy for me to get out as well. The TARDISes, I'd have to have them stuck.
A couple of them, to be fair, are a little tricky to identify properly. 8th Doctor one, for example. The 5th Doctor one. And also, depending which version of the 9th and or 10th Doctor one he's got. So, yeah, that could be tricky in places. I have no life. I'm just saying it. I've proven it yet again.
Okay, Sonics next week. Right, I will try and remember that. Remind me, please, if I forget and I do something else.
Sinister. Next week we're going to be doing the Sonics quiz, okay? There.
Thanks.
I've discharged my responsibility. Now you discharge yours.
We'll remind you later. It's later.
I'm sorry, that was a young one's line. Ah, dear. And it went down as well as when Rick said it as well. Right.
I think we should sign off now.
Why?
Why not?
Do you need to make pee-pee?
No, I'm just eating.
Okay.
I've been eating this entire time. I mean...
Good on you. Beef Billy Bong or something.
No, Bitong.
Bitong. One of the other fowls that escaped the dome.
It's a better version of beef jerky.
Well, I'll tell you what, look, let me tell people what's coming up and then we'll see where we go.
Why don't you tell people what's coming up?
I shall do. Okay, so, Wednesday, with luck, at 10:30 UK time, 5:30 Eastern, we should have our new series watch along, which has reached Age of Steel. That's with myself, Eddie and Brian. If we manage to do it. We didn't manage to do it last week, sorry. Friday, we have the classic Doctor Who reaction to Fan Dinosaurs, and we'll be looking at episode 5 of Genesis of the Daleks. That's Sinister and myself, and that's on at 9 PM UK time, 4 PM Eastern. I'm trying desperately to concentrate to do 3 different things at the moment. Now we didn't agree something here, Brian, last night. Are we role-playing next Saturday as we didn't last night?
No.
We're not. Okay, so forget next Saturday. It's gone. Forget it. It's rained off. Next Sunday, Flashing Blade again, where we'll be looking at the Ark, the Eccleston box set, the Doomwatch episode, Something Wicked This Way Comes, and the Blake 7 episode, The Harvest of Kyros, after which I'm probably just going to hide for a little bit. All of these, again, are subject to change because I'm afraid we've still not found out the date of my brother's funeral. And I have no idea what's going on around that at all. I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, feeling useless.
You have a burrito.
Burritos are not logical. Dawn's gone quiet.
It's over, Prime.
I heard a cry.
Look, I got 2 versions of this guy.
I notice.
But he had the better brain, so he got featured, and he didn't.
Not a sentence I was expecting to hear tonight. I'm going to be honest.
I mean,
if I'd been invited around to Mahendra Solarson's place on Khan, you know, this one had the better brain is the sort of topic you'd get over dinner.
Eddie, what gun is that? What story is that gun from, Eddie?
Oh, don't be cruel.
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea.
Earthshock.
Is it Earthshock? There you go.
Are you saying that in Attack of the Cybermen and the 5 Doctors they held the guns the other way up?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure one of them did.
What story is that from?
I know.
I'll leave it to Siobhan then. I'll go Earthshock.
Good call.
Like Silver.
It.
I'm doing the Turoni sketch where it's like I'm just going to answer the question to the question that was answered previously.
I'm up for that. It's the invasion.
Okay, and
one of the 2 weapons the Cybermen had in the invasion.
Last one on the guns quiz, because that's the only guns I've got.
The invasion.
Silver Nemesis.
Correct. The silly Nemesis it is. What's Brian holding up there?
Our Master Nemesis Prime.
Ooh.
A thing.
Make toys Thunder Erebus.
Closing time.
Right there now because it's not being made anymore.
I said it. Closing time.
I don't think he's from. I don't think he's meant to be from Closing Time. I think he's meant to be.
Yes.
An earlier one, isn't he? Or no? No, thinking about it. No, I think you are right. All right, because I've got a battery-powered one of these little one.
Like I said to Eddie a little earlier on, I'm looking forward to you watching this back, Sinister, because you froze in a fascinating position also. If people want to screenshot them, blow them up and put them on dartboards, trust me, you'll love it. Yes, dear, it's very pretty. Make sure you put it back in the nursery.
He's bigger than my microphone.
How is this happening? How have I let my show go completely out of control nowadays? It's like, do you remember the old advert where a car would go screeching past this bloke like that, and he'd go, "Look at that idiot! You wouldn't." That's it. Fuck off, the pair of you. And it's just. Oh, somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody's been to the toilet. Talking about the 24-hour stream, you, me, and Jess. Yeah. And I'm guessing Eddie as well. Eddie should be in on the planning of just to make sure he's okay with it all.
We'll wait till Eddie's got his stuff back, though.
What about Tiltify or whatever it's called?
No, his
internet. Right, yeah.
The internet should hopefully be. I've managed to get them to go from. They were going to come Tuesday between 2 and 4. Has now become tomorrow between 12 and.
I'm just surprised 4. You managed to get an engineer so quickly. Did you do it via the phone? Or the website?
Phone, 2 phone calls, and then do you not see the stuff I put on Twitter?
No. Probably not.
I put look at my Twitter feed, and off the back of that, I got a text saying, "Oh, we can get you an engineer who'll come tomorrow between 12 o'clock and 4."
Fencegate. They were supposed to come on the 4th. I'd got it wrong. They've had to change it now, so they're coming on the 10th.
The fence actually may get fixed.
Which I guarantee I will suddenly find out is the date of my brother's funeral.
Of course.
Because.
Well, obviously they're being coordinated with each other.
Well, yes. Those gods that Keith Dunn used to love saying, like to poke me with a stick just to see what would happen, they're still doing it. We're going to be able to see Keith. That's good. I'll see Keith and the Staggering Stories lot at Hooverville. Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to introducing you to them, Eddie. They're a nice bunch.
Seriously, I can't wait. 3 weeks, 4 weeks to go. Can't wait.
Like that. Yeah.
Can't wait.
But they're just, yeah, good people. Known them 30 years. So we had a falling out a little while ago, but hopefully time mends. We'll see.
Of course it does.
Just go up and hug them.
COVID. Even though the restrictions aren't there anymore, people are going to be very uncomfortable about hugging. If I just automatically grab and hug, I think it's a case of offering the hug and see if they're okay with it.
Why don't you get some business cards printed up?
I thought you were going to say a hazmat suit, but go on.
With the word hug written on them, and then you can give people a hug.
My greeting will be Matt Cow. Matt Cow being, you see, there were Korean Olympics back in the 80s, I think. And in the opening ceremony, they were supposed to, the cards they would hold up and spell out a word for people looking down on them were supposed to spell welcome. They had to have 3 attempts of it, and they ended up with Matt Cow. And so from normally anybody in COVID, I'd say, Matt Cow. It's a stupid thing, and I'm probably the only person in the world who does it because I'm an idiot.
Eddie, at Hooverville, I trust you will be throwing yourself in front of any hugs put in my direction.
Oh, of course, I've got my sunglasses ready. Absolutely, and again, food testing. I'm your man. That's sorted.
If you've got
the only thing I would suggest, if any food you've got to have that you want tested has to be deep fried first. That's my only proviso. I'm Glaswegian. I have my standards.
That's fair.
Can you do me a favour, actually? I'm kind of half serious here. Is it possible you could bring me a deep fried Mars bar?
Leave it with me. Yes, it'll be a bit cold, but yeah, you can.
I'm not so certain. It's not the same as hot. To be fair.
Oh no, you've got to have it hot. That's.
But I know, but I can reheat it.
Hang on. Get a Mars bar. I mean, Eddie, by all means, get one and bring them to him because it's a native Scottish one. It just won't be warm.
Yes.
But get a Mars bar and ask the hotel chef to do it for you. Under Eddie's expert supervision, of course.
Of course. Right, sorry, that's me. I'm getting myself more data.
I'm so sorry.
No, in case you're wondering, I'm down to less than 538 megabytes of data. I'm just paying with it for PayPal.
Gentlemen, we are very close to being on our longest ever show of the Flash and Blade.
How long have we got?
I'm not entirely certain. I'll have an idea at some stage when I look at it and think, oh, that looks like a lot. Yeah. Yes, Hooverville's going to be... I'm trying to think of everybody else. The trouble I have with conventions, and you guys know only too well what my memory is like, there's an awful lot of people who come up and greet me like they know me, and I cannot remember who they are. And I feel...
Told us that. Go.
Oh, we're going to play that card then. So I'll turn up and then it'll be, yeah.
Fuck off. I'm going to be introducing you to as many people as I possibly can. Actually, remember the name of. Yes.
Oh, seriously, I cannot wait. I mean, I've 50 years without ever going to any Doctor Who related convention and watched it since I was a kid. I can't wait.
It's a tiny convention, but it's very good-willed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And
it's like an old convention from the 80s. That I used
exactly. So it's yeah, that's why part of the reason it's so welcoming. It's not just a complete money grab. I mean, yeah, bring your wallet because there'll be dealers there. But actually, that's an idea. I will try and get. I mean, I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to afford it, but I'm going to try and get as many of those Day of the Dalek sets as I can for the Black Dalek, and I'll take the gold Daleks I've got left over to Hooverville and say, there you go, donation for the raffle. I'd advise one at a time. You can't have 2 Chief Daleks. Oh yes, I will insist that they're called the Chief Dalek, not the Dalek Supreme.
No, you put one up for the raffle, and then just keep drawing numbers.
The embarrassing...
And you win. And you win. And you win. And you win.
The thing is, Adam has a bit of a history at Hooverville raffles of winning an awful lot.
I've got a theory about that Chief Dalek.
Oh, please, yes.
Well, traditionally, a Dalek task force commander is what colour?
I would say black.
Yes. That was what I was going to suggest.
But they're often called the Dalek Supreme or the Black Dalek.
Yeah,
what the gold ones as well, though.
You generally get a Black Dalek in charge of a particular or outpost. I think that this particular Black Dalek was on Earth and just thought, do you know what? Fuck it. I'm painting myself gold.
Could be. But he is actually known as the Chief Dalek.
He changed his name.
Terence Dix, all hail Terence, introduced a Black Dalek as well into the novelisation, and that was the one the controller always talked to, until at one point the Gold Dalek came out. The book's just that bit different.
I forgot about that. Yeah. That blows my theory out the water then.
I'm so sorry. So I'm going to have a little... I desperately want, and I don't know how to do it, maybe you know, Sinister, get these Black Daleks and stop motion animate the Dance of the Daleks thing from Vision On using these models.
I know how to do it, I just don't have the patience to do it.
Well, if you could sort of be there and show me, and you can read and, you know, every now and again look over and go, have you managed to do 10 seconds yet? I'd love to do that, because there's some very odd camera angles right from the base of the Daleks looking up. But it's not a still image, it moves around to each one. And I've no idea how to do that.
You're going to need a GoPro if you're going to do it with models.
Well, I'm talking using the character options Daleks.
Yeah. If you want a picture from underneath, you're going to need a tiny camera. You're going to need a GoPro. I don't think the others are listening to us anymore.
And you get a tiny camera, it's a GoPro, and I'm trying to think where I had GoPro before. I'm sure it's probably the Gadget Show or something that's been talked about.
My daughter's got a GoPro.
Does she have Dealy Boppers as well?
We use something similar.
I have them.
Do you remember our interview with what's his name in the car?
Oh, Derek Sherman.
We
love Derek Sherman. He was lovely.
We did. Have you seen that episode
of the Vidiprog where we interviewed Derek Sherman whilst we were driving up to Derby?
We've got an episode of Flash and Blade literally on the road, and we're in the car driving up the M1. We're interviewing Derek Sherman. I'm driving in the Star Trek uniform. Siobhan's sat next to me, and Derek Sherman's in the back of the car. And we're interviewing him.
It's on the Vidiprog.
I will be looking for that one out then. I will watch that and I'll report on it next week.
We was the world's first. That was the first Doctor Who producer to be interviewed driving up the M1 in a car.
Actually, we could be more specific, in a Ford Focus.
Yeah, a blue Ford Focus.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Star Wars regalia, or Star Trek regalia. Sorry.
I wore Star Trek.
I wore
one of my Trek uniforms.
Ironically,
and I just walked around to people saying, "I think I'm at the wrong convention."
There's a great picture. I mentioned it last night. From a Comic Con. And you know the meme where you've got the good-looking girl looking at her bloke who's turned and is looking at another girl.
Look backwards.
Yeah. There's this brilliant one from a Comic Con where you've got two cosplayers, the Jason Momoa Aquaman and his princess wife or whatever, and she's turning to look at a guy cosplaying the 1950s Aquaman cartoon, including having two dolphins on his feet that he could move with his slippers. It was epic. Brilliant. I enjoyed that a lot. Cool. So, oh yeah, well, I need to ask you, and this is the right time of the show to ask you, Eddie, what are you doing next week?
Waiting on the bloody Virgin Media engineer coming tomorrow. Harvey goes for a haircut on Wednesday. That's about as exciting as it gets.
Yes, but we have a possible new saga approaching. New saga happening. Your adventures with Virgin Media. We've had mine.
Yeah. Did you ever get your TV fixed?
Yes. They sent a man out.
So you have get volume.
I had to go.
Yeah.
I had to go on to. In the end, they sent me to this website, a forum, and I had to put the question in on the forum. And eventually, one of the mods, who was one of the tech guys, got in touch with me and booked an engineer to come out.
It's ridiculous.
I tried to pay my bill by the phone, which I normally do. Can't do it now. You get a link to go and pay online.
I get a number and I spoke to two absolutely lovely people. They really were really nice, but it was me basically complaining on Twitter that eventually prompted a text message that said, "Oh no, we'll found a spot. We'll send you an engineer tomorrow." It pays to complain.
I got to put in a complaint about Guinness. Actually, my occupational therapist has been waiting for months to build a platform so I can go into my garden. They're just not replying, and that's disgraceful. I've missed the summer.
Not good. Yep.
Yeah. So that's fun. So you're doing that this week. Brian, what are you doing this week?
I'm glad you asked, Siobhan.
Hooray!
Yay. Yeah, no, I'm working.
Yeah, it's pretty much me.
Last week I had to save my kids who were stuck on the thruway.
Yes, we weren't sure you were going to be here last time.
We were not, because they called me at 8:30 in the morning after they called the tow truck, and the tow truck didn't get there till 12:30.
However, you managed it, so please pass on the fact that they're not going to get paid. All right?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes. We did have a lovely brunch at the McGee Diner, which is...
Not on my expenses, you're not.
Oops.
I'm just saying. Dr. Sinister.
I already submitted the receipt.
Hang on a second. Hang on. I've got a thing for this. I've just remembered. I got a thing for this. Bear with me. Hang on. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, for Bod's sake. It's not the goat. It's not that. It is... Oh, there we go. All right. Here we go. What sinister things has Dr. Sinister been doing in a sinister manner, or will be doing this week?
Well, I've got about 9 or 10 Lego sets here that I've built up. Star Wars, some Avengers stuff. But the one I'm most looking forward to building this week is this one.
Oh. Ooh. That's nice. And are you able to build it in a
class destroyer?
It's Moff Gideon's light cruiser from The Mandalorian.
Are you actually able to build it in a sinister manner?
I can cackle.
That'll do. But to be fair, you'd be doing that anyway.
How long does that generally take, Sinister? How long does that actually take to build?
I surmise this will take me maybe an entire viewing of the Ark and an entire viewing of the Harvest of Kairos to build this. Convenient.
I'm sorry, but no, I insist you pay attention to the two stories.
I can do two things.
Okay. So that was what is Dr. Sinister doing in a sinister manner.
What are you doing, Siobhan?
I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea at all. Jesus, Sin, some of those titles were quite long.
That's the whole point. It was the long title for a 2-second piece. That was the genius.
I don't know.
That's how I felt about the Big Finish this week.
I can't plan anything.
That was long for a 2-second piece.
I think I'll be going to Adam's because I need a little bit of help trying to sort out how to change the position of my heads-up display on the car, and I suspect it can't do it, but Adam might know a bit better. And also, he's named and insured on the car, so I thought, well, it's only fair to give him a drive so he can compare it with his car. So, there's that.
The car has definitely opened up a lot for you, hasn't it? I mean, seriously, I mean,
it has, but I'm just not really taking advantage of it. I've stopped going places, and I don't know why that is. I think it's a case of a lot of it is putting me off is the whole walking thing. At the other end.
I was in London on Thursday, and somebody reversed into my.
Oh yes, the Sinstamobile got dented.
That's right. Yep.
Yes. Have you avenged yourself?
Well,
no. Southern England is still here.
The lady was meant to call me by 8:30 that evening when I'd got home from work, and she didn't. Yes. And I rang her, and she was completely fucking off her face with being old, and she had no intention of ringing me whatsoever.
Of being old, did you say?
Off her face with being old, yeah. It's a yeah.
I've not heard that phrase before.
No, I just made it up.
It's a good phrase. We should start using that. I want a proper definition for it, though.
She said, "Oh, can we sort this out between us? And could you get a quote?" And I'm thinking, no. I don't want to sort it between us because me getting a quote involves me putting myself out. So I said, bearing in mind, I've been in insurance for 30 years. That's my profession, right? I said, look, the whole point of you paying insurance is to take the hassle away. I said, just call your insurance company. I said, I'll give them until Monday to contact me. They rang me the next day. They're coming to pick the car up. They're going to provide me a courtesy car. I don't have to do anything. Perfect.
It's not going to hit you, no claims.
No, it's not going to affect me in any way whatsoever, apart from the fact that I'm going to be driving a different car for a couple of days, and that's exactly as it should be. And I'm not taking advantage. I'm not, in a credit hire vehicle running up a huge bill.
The insurance. Oh, hello, he's gone again.
I said no, I was in London at the time. I'm at my back there.
You're back now, yeah.
You're back. You're back in the room.
You couldn't go and have a quick word with my neighbours and get the £100 they owe me for the Trixie's vet bill, could you?
If you like.
I really wouldn't. It's too, for £100, it's far too much trouble in the long run.
When I come over, we'll take care of it.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
Trust me, we won't.
Oh, yeah.
That would involve me inviting you onto this housing estate. I'm not that stupid. However, you do have to come to the local cafe because I have to take a photograph of you. I've got a particular thing on Facebook, and I don't know how it started, but people standing in front of a particular sign pointing.
We've all done it.
Yeah, it's true. They have since just done it. Dean Hill's done it. Dave did it without realising because he kept refusing point blank to do it. And on the very last day before he moved to America, I just got him in just the right pose. All right, he was a bit far away, but I got him in just the right pose so it looked like he was pointing at it. Click. And gotcha, you bugger. I have no life. That's good. What am I going to do after this? I've got to sort Doomwatch out for you. No, please, don't thank me.
We won't.
You see, normally after Sunday night show, I watch the Blake 7 for the week. However, I really don't feel up to it.
It's going to be that good then. That says a lot.
When does What If start? Anybody know off the top of their head?
13th of August, something like
that. Next Friday.
11th of August. 11th of August.
Okay.
No, hold on. Is it not 20th of August? Is it not a weekend Thursday? A week, the 20th, I think.
A week from this coming Friday.
Yep, 20th of August.
Not good enough.
2 weeks.
I want it now.
Me too.
To be fair,
I can binge it.
The next range of Lego collectible minifigs, I believe, is from the What If series.
Interesting.
Would you like a list of the characters?
Guys, are we alright with the spoilers here?
I'm fine with that.
Spoilers, folks. Alright, if you don't know what all the What If characters are going to be, go for it, Sin.
Hold on, I've got to find it first.
Alright.
I know there's Peggy Carter.
And you got Captain Carter.
Captain Carter. I know that T'Challa is going to become Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Bugger. I can't find the link.
I've heard there's a zombie.
There's a Marvel Zombies episode, yes.
Which is going to be funny as all hell.
Hopefully.
Well, Marvel
darkly funny.
Marvel Zombies made me sad. I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the art. I didn't like the story.
Here, have this piece of Galactus.
Yeah, I didn't like any bit of it. I loved the DC Zombies. It's a story called DC.
I know it. I know it. Yeah, Comics Explained did it. All right, come on, Sin.
DC's
hold on.
He's got the sinister spectacles on.
First one. There's 3 from WandaVision.
Right.
There's Scarlet Witch with red power blasts. There's the Vision with a computer featuring the Hex. And there's Monica Rambeau, a.k.a. Photon, with a sword toy helicopter. Yeah. From Loki, there are 2. There's Loki with a TVA mug and Throg. Throg's the crocodile thing, right? The alligator thing, right?
No. Frog is a frog.
Yeah, he's glimpsed very briefly.
And there's Sylvie, I don't know who she is, with a green dagger and alligator.
Well, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. I'm not really that fussed about watching it, to be honest.
I should be if you're going to be watching the next lot of Marvel movies.
Yes, it just leads into it.
From Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there's Falcon in Captain America's suit with Captain America's shield, Falcon wings, and Red Wing. What's Red Wing?
Red Wing, well, in the comics it's his bird. In this, it's electronic. It's his electronic drone.
Okay.
It's his drone.
Okay. And then there's Bucky Barnes / Winter Soldier with Captain America's shield and daggers. So, okay, and then we get onto the what ifs, and there are 5 of these. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
So, potential spoilers here, guys.
Hang on, you're a robot again.
Captain Carter.
You're a robot again. Sorry. Start over.
Lost your scent.
Right, Captain Carter with Captain Britain's shield and Tesseract.
Nice.
Yep.
Gamora with the blade of Thanos, with Thanos' double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie Hunter Spidey with webbing and alternate Peter Parker head. So basically, he looks a bit like he's got Doctor Strange's cape on.
There's always a possibility.
I'll send you. I'll put this link in the chat in a minute, and you can look at the pictures if you want. Zombie Captain America with a scratched shield.
Yep.
Yes.
And finally, T'Challa Star-Lord with quad blasters.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yep. That's good.
Bear with me. I'll just put this link in the chat, and there are some very nice pictures of them in there if you want to look. There you go.
All right, I'm not going to show them on the stream because of spoilers. Guys, how are we going to make a move?
I'm going to have to. I need to try and save some.
We have been here for almost 3 hours.
It's a new world record.
I don't know.
We've done it before.
I'll have to wait and see. Well, I'll say goodbye, I suppose.
Goodbye, I suppose.
Goodbye, I suppose.
Yep.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
John Levine, the beer all down him. Is Vic there?